Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Alan from over at AG Reviews, and we are here today for a very special episode, the second episode of Alan's Movie Talk, my podcast that I brought back. And I'm here with two lovely gentlemen. Ian, how are you today?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Yeah, glad to have you on.
Thank you.
Yes. And I'm here with Kyle as well. How are you today, Kyle?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, yes. A decent amount of news this week, movie wise. You know, there's been a lot happening. Obviously, we're the week before Comic-Con, so studios are kind of getting news ready to drop on us. And it wasn't officially a part of our topics list, but we wanted to talk about it before we get into our actual topic. So I just wanted to share my screen here and mention I'm not going to even remotely try to pronounce his name, but Blue Beetle is returning in Man of Tomorrow, which I don't know how you guys feel, but at this point, this feels essentially like a Justice League film with how many characters we basically have confirmed at this point. So obviously, James Gunn had talked about it after the release of this movie that he would probably return. I thought he had a great performance in the movie. Blue Beetle. I thought it was pretty underrated. So I'll go to you, Ian, first. What was your thoughts? Hearing another cast member being added to Man of Tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's kind of on par with what we had in the first with a bunch of Justice League members, but I still think that it was a cool inclusion. It was out of nowhere because I think when they first announced it, they said they'd keep him, the actor, and the character, but they said, I think James Gunn originally said an animated TV show was supposed to be in the works.
I did hear about that, yeah.
So I am interested to see if this might lead into that or if he's scrapping those plans to do something completely different. But I agree with you with the Blue Beetle being underrated. That was like my favorite movie, like one of my favorite movies of that year. So I really enjoyed it. But yeah, no, I'm excited. I like this actor. I like the character. So
what about you, Kyle? What were your thoughts?
Yeah, very similar thoughts. I really enjoy the movie. Yeah, I can't pronounce his name either, but the guy from Cobra Kai, Miguel.
right. Miguel.
He does a great job at it. So I think it's cool he's getting another opportunity. The only thing I'm a little worried about is it's the DC universe we got right now is it's kind of like they're picking and choosing what they're bringing over from the other universe.
Right.
And I think it just kind of confuses people, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
But I'm not mad about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's weird because technically, like you talked about picking and choosing, what we've done. Obviously, James Gunn's projects got brought over, which,
shocker.
How you feel about that is, kind of ranges by how you feel about James Gunn as a filmmaker. But I think he is the first one to come over that is playing the same character outside of Amanda Waller. Outside of that, I believe. Well, and the Peacemaker corner. But like outside of something that James Gunn didn't have his hand directly in, I think this is the first casting where it's the same person, right? And
I think so.
I believe so. So it's interesting. I think it gets a little bit confusing though. But I did love that movie, so I'm not complaining. I thought he was great in the role, and we'll see what that movie holds. Like I said, with everything that's been announced, it damn near feels like a Justice League light movie at this point because there are so many. So many people coming back, so many people involved in it. It's just Batman that we're missing, really, at this point. I don't know why.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, so we'll see how it plays out. So, all right. So, just wanted to give quick thoughts on that. We will move on to what we're really here for and what we're ready to talk about. The big release over the weekend. We're going to talk about Moana because we all saw that movie.
Yeah, obviously.
We're the only people in the country that did.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I know. We'd be one of like 10. If we did see it. No, we're going to talk about Evil Dead Burn. Obviously, that was all three of us on this panel today are big horror fans, so that was a very anticipated film for us. I think we're all pretty much in agreement that Evil Dead is probably one of the most consistent horror franchises. I think I could speak for all of us. Like, no matter how you rank this series, I think every entry is really solid and really good. So I'll kind of just start off with my thoughts. I really enjoyed this movie. I felt like there was some things that held it back. Just for my quick thoughts. I think me and you talked about it last week, Ian. I really love how this has kind of become like a straight horror trilogy in the Evil Dead franchise that we've gotten with 2013 Rise and now Burn. And I really enjoyed the gnarliness and the nastiness of this film. I really felt like this actually felt like more of the follow-up to 2013 than Rise did for me in that aspect, because I think that 2013 film for me is one of the most brutal films I've ever seen. Like, like core I was 18 when I saw it, but the core memory of seeing that film in the theaters for the first time will always stick with me. So, I thought, that was really great. I thought the set pieces were really well. I loved how it was kind of a different location. Not necessarily, though, at the same time. Like, it was in the middle of nowhere, but it was a house instead of a cabin, right? It was cool there. I think the lore expansion that we got here, and we'll kind of dive into that maybe in a spoiler section here. I liked it. I was a bit confused on some of it. I'll say that. But yeah, so overall, I'm more positive. We can get into negatives in a little bit here. I'll bounce to you, Kyle. What were your thoughts? I've already kind of seen your review of it, so I know. But for anyone else who hasn't seen it, yes,
I liked it. Now I did a ranking as well. I think it was yesterday or the day before. I do have this as my worst Evil Dead movie.
Okay,
but it's still a very good movie. It's very solid. I like it. I love the gnarliness of it. I love the gore. I think the score was really good in it too, that a lot of people haven't really talked about.
Right. Yes. Yes.
I don't know if do you want to talk about negatives now, or do you want me to wait?
This will just be like quick review. Okay. You can do both.
I guess my biggest takeaway and why it kind of dropped a little bit for me is I did not care about one character in this movie. Even the main character, which I do respect what they were trying to go for with her. I just think that maybe the execution, or maybe it was a performance issue. I don't know. Something just wasn't jiving with me. Where I don't know. I just didn't care about any of these people. Which in a horror movie, it's not always the worst thing. Sometimes that's okay to just see people get fucked up by shit. That's fine. But it's just it didn't really, for me. It didn't feel very Evil Dead. And I don't even know what it is that makes me not feel like that. It's just there's something in there that makes me, it doesn't feel like Evil Dead to me. It feels like a really good horror movie. Just didn't feel like an Evil Dead movie to me.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, no, I definitely can understand that. I would say on the Deadite side, and we'll get into that in a little bit, I feel like that's kind of where I felt that a little bit, where I was like, some of the things the Deadites were doing in this movie, I'm like, I don't remember that being possible, but okay. So yeah, and then Ian, what about you? What were, just quick thoughts, a couple positive, couple negatives, what you thought?
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed this film too. I liked a lot of the set pieces like you brought up. I liked a lot of sequences in here, pretty standout ones from my opinion. One that we saw in the trailer that was really cool. Practical, like the makeup and everything looked great. And acting was okay. I don't think it was like the best, but it's fine for what it is. Overall plot can be a little muddy. Just a little bit. And as we're Evil Dead fans, I think the lore was kind of being a little weird in this film as compared to what we've seen previously. So I don't know how to feel about that, but I mean, I still had a great time with it. So I mean, the negatives are more out of feeling like a little off in the series, but not too much. Like not too much for me to be like, oh, I hate it or anything like that. So.
Yeah,
that's about it for me.
I think that's kind of one of maybe the downsides of having so many different directors and writers attached to the franchise. It's like, on one hand, I think it can keep things fresh, right? And we can get new entries that don't feel like any previous ones that we've gotten before. But then at the same time, it doesn't feel as cohesive sometimes. And I felt like that was kind of a problem here, where I'm like, I kind of agree with what you said, Kyle, that there was definitely, I'll say moments, not the whole movie, but moments throughout where I'm like, this doesn't feel like Evil Dead, at least like what we're used to. So I think maybe that's kind of, what kicks in there. There was evil and a dead in it, correct. I'm not watching Catnado, though.
I'll watch it with you, J.
Yeah. J-Dog. So we'll kind of get more specific. I have notes, so I'm just kind of going to go over what I put on here. We already talked about it. Very, very violent, very gory film. I think some of the set pieces and what honestly kind of felt like action sequences in certain moments were there's some of the best in the series for me. The opening scene, it's in the trailer, so spoiler, I guess. The opening scene on the lake, where we get the girl from Evil Dead Rise. That whole sequence I thought was incredible. I'm not going to spoil anything, but the set pieces I thought were really, really good. Felt really unique. Like there were some moments in this movie I was like, okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The expanded lore I thought was frustrating and also cool. Like there were certain elements of it that were cool, and I think now that we know where the next project is going to be a prequel film, I think we're going to get a little bit into some of the stuff that they established here, which I really like. I really liked how this movie essentially was a MacGuffin plot line, and because of that, it put the Deadites on the offense.
Yeah,
I haven't seen a lot of people talk about this, but the fact that like in this film, the Deadites are approaching this family and not the other way around, where they kind of walk into this situation. I thought that was really cool. I thought that was something that felt unique to this franchise and worked really well for me. And this film is very fast paced. Like there is not a moment of calming down. Like it just starts from the beginning and it just continues to go. And I will say, for like my last positive of everything we've talked about, gamers here, I really got Resident Evil Biohazard vibes with this film, particularly with the like that sequence in the dinner table. We'll go into specifics. I was like, oh, this is if someone wanted to adapt Biohazard, we kind of have a template
version
right here. It's right here. So I'll go to you, Ian. Any other positives maybe that you wanted to mention, or just standout things that you wanted to agree or disagree with me on?
No, I think there was some. That's the cool thing about each of the movies we've gotten so far. There's all these neat, different Deadite performances, whether you like them or hate them. I think this new one was pretty unique. Like you said, I didn't put it together that way, but it's funny to see them on the offense in this one more than any other one. They're very hell bent on what they're trying to do in this film. Because like you said, it's really cool to see it be almost action. Because I won't. It's not a spoiler, but there's that scene in the car. There's the scene in the
man.
Yeah. There's the whole scene that you've seen in the trailer. That's a whole long, like a one shot. That's pretty cool that I like. I don't know. I think for me, it was just a lot of the violence and gore. I really will tell you guys and let me know what you think. I don't understand what people were saying about it being mean. I don't quite understand the mean. Besides that, there was one scene that I understand, but the rest of it, I'm like, maybe not. Like,
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say the dinner scene, the dinner table scene.
That's what I was referring to.
That's what I think, and
but
maybe some elder abuse. But outside.
Oh, yeah. Maybe I didn't even think about it, but
yeah. I don't know. I kind of agree with what you're saying with there, because like I've seen people say that maybe it's like towards the main character. What she went through in this film was nothing worse than Mia went through in Evil Dead 2013. So I don't know.
True. Yeah. And she went through the ringer. So
Right. So I don't know. But Kyle, what about you? Any other things that you liked that we haven't discussed that you wanted to shout out or mention?
Part of I know how I kind of complained about not feeling like Evil Dead, but like you said, like the Deadites kind of being on the offense, and like that scene. Well, I guess it's in the trailer. The roof scene with the running up the roof kind of thing. It kind of makes you perk up a little bit. You're like, oh, these things these are quick.
Right.
Yeah. I wouldn't say the movie's mean spirited or nothing like that. I mean,
at least not compared to other entries, right? Like
right. Like
there's
the scene that you're talking about, like it's mean, sure, but it's not mean spirited. I would say that's just. But
I agree.
Again, there's not much I could say to it. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff here. There's those couple of things that just kind of make me kind of bring it down a notch a little bit. But
okay, so I'll put it up. Let's put up a spoiler banner here, and let's kind of get into specifics. So if you haven't seen Evil Dead Burn and you don't want to be spoiled, I will keep this banner on the screen until we're done talking about spoilers. So you can mute it or come back or anything like that. So we'll kind of get into the negatives. I want to bring up characters. This is the worst crop of characters I think we've ever gotten in this franchise, and it's not even close. I don't like anyone except for the main character, and even her, as a final leading woman in this franchise, or even just leading characters in general, was not anything to write home about. I will say, obviously, this subject matter tackles domestic abuse. That's like
Yes.
the main thing here.
Mhm.
I did like that. I would have liked a little bit more. I would have liked to kind of dive into that. Like 2013, I know I keep referencing that movie. I just love it so much.
But-
2013 really handled addiction much
Yeah.
better.
So good.
Evil Dead Rise handled motherhood much better. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like this film, like kind of on the line gets into it, but
Mhm.
doesn't really go anywhere with it.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then we'll kind of get into it. The movie starts off with her husband dying, and even before you find out who he is, I hated that guy. Like he
Oh,
was
yeah.
on screen, and I'm
He's-
like, can he die, please? Like I want to see him die.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Ian.
No, I was gonna say I agree because they're not any of the not besides Alice. I think really nobody's likable. But I figured that they try to write it that way on purpose. But at the same
Right.
time, it's kind of like even unlikable people, you could still have like character to them that you'd care somewhat about.
Right.
You know what I mean?
right.
But
Yeah.
like, yeah, that was just like, nah, you go, guys.
Yeah.
I don't need y'all here.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think it's the best group of characters we've had so far for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
And I think too we get a competition for worst boyfriend of the year.
Oh.
Oh my
what's his
gosh.
name?
I saw that Joseph and then Bear. I was
Joseph.
like, oh,
That's right.
man.
Yeah, Joseph. I forgot his
Yeah.
name to be honest, but yeah,
What a coward, dude.
Yeah.
What a
Oh
weasel
Oh my
little guy.
gosh.
he's comparable to Bear. I think in
Yeah.
how he just abandoned his girlfriend as his dad was going
Oh.
to town on her. So
I mean,
Mhm.
that was like kind of the immediate thing is what he did to the to the dog at the dinner table. It's just like,
yes, yeah,
why didn't you just? And then yeah, it's just the whole fact that he has all these opportunities to do something and he just purposely does nothing.
Nothing.
Like he
Yeah.
just, I don't know.
yeah. No, it was not great. The dad's performance, I loved him as a dad.
Yeah.
I thought he was
Mhm.
great. I mean, he has no character, right? Like that's the problem with everybody here. No one actually has like character to them. They're all kind of archetypes that don't really expand past that.
Well,
but he was very
pretty
right.
well.
yeah. He's very menacing though. Like he was
Yeah.
very like his Deadite performance was really great. We could kind of go into Deadite inconsistencies here, in one scene, which I thought it was a great scene, where Joseph finally bashes in his girlfriend's head after taking a bunch of punishment for 25 minutes.
Mhm.
She's dead, and then Joseph's dad's able to shoot himself in the face and head like 35 times and somehow is still alive. I'm like, that's the type of stuff where I'm like, okay, the inconsistencies here aren't really great.
Yeah, they're not adding up.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
what did you guys like? Was there any moments? I mean, and I feel like there was more when I was watching it that I don't really remember off the top of my head, but where were you guys at with kind of what seemed to be some inconsistencies in how the Deadites were acting?
The one that I thought of right away was with it's with the mom and the dad when they have their gross little makeout session.
Oh god.
Oh,
or
yeah.
whatever.
I couldn't
But-
stand that, man.
Yeah, I mean neither. But you
It was
see
weird,
her eyes change.
Yeah.
Right.
But then in the next scene, she's like down, and she's like begging the dad not to
Kill them.
hurt. Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, well, didn't you just change? So shouldn't you be on the same page
Right.
as all of them?
Yeah.
That was one. Yeah. The whole bash in the head thing. I thought the same thing. I'm like, the dad just offed himself 15 times.
With a gun.
perfectly
Yeah.
fine. Yeah.
And he's cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's I guess horror movies. That sometimes they do that stuff.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say the shooting, like him using the gun on himself too. I just felt like it was kind of like overdone. I
It was
feel
kind
like
of goofy.
Yeah,
It was a little
yeah.
goofy. Yeah.
it was just like 3 times where I felt like maybe the one time was fine, but then 3 times just felt like, okay, what are we doing here? Right?
Right.
Like it's like I don't know.
It was
Mhm.
overkill,
Yeah.
when you're already
Literally. yeah.
blowing your brains out 5 times,
Right.
Like, okay, now we're at 15 and like this isn't as
Yeah,
effective. Yeah.
But yeah, the Deadite inconsistency, like Kyle brought up, it's like they could be a Deadite for a second and go back to normal, and then they come
Yeah.
back to being a Deadite, and I'm like, yeah,
Which
Mhm.
it's happened before in the series where like the
Oh.
eyes disappear and they
Mhm.
act like they pretend, but they're still a Deadite, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's
Right,
like they're
right.
just trying to, put on a show to kind of trick the person into like luring them in. But
Mhm.
the only person in our whole franchise that's done that was Ash in Evil Dead 2 when the sun came up and he went back to normal. But that was like a weird one. I still don't really understand but that was an earlier movie in the franchise, so I'm sure that
Right.
the lore wasn't quite established yet. But
Mhm.
I mean, that's the only guy, and even then, it's still like makes a little bit more sense. I feel like.
Right, yeah.
But I don't
Yeah,
know.
so yeah, there was definitely some inconsistencies there. I'll say that. Even at the beginning, I did like though, and I don't know if this is I haven't watched the original trilogy in quite some time, so I don't remember. But in the beginning, when you get the scene with the I don't remember her name, but the character from Evil Dead Rise at the lake,
Jessica.
Jessica, yes, where she's acting like basically like a shark and like swimming underwater.
That was
I'm
Mhm.
like, I don't think we've gotten a sequence like that before in this franchise. And I was like, that was kind of cool. I didn't even know like Deadites could just, not breathe underwater and be fine. Again, that kind of felt a little bit like an inconsistency, but I just thought it was so cool. I didn't really care at the moment.
Mhm.
Yeah, the weird thing too about that is that she's almost feels like she got awakened once he found the dagger and that
Right.
one scene. But
Yeah.
then it kind of makes me wonder, so she was stuck there up until that point then?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? I just didn't
she was
quite
fishing. She was fishing.
Yeah,
since
sorry.
Evil Dead Rise the whole time.
Yeah, she was just chilling for like maybe I don't even know the time between the
Line.
two, but
Yeah,
it could be
yeah.
months
Mhm.
or a year, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys. I thought visually it looked unique to the series, but I don't think that was in a good way. I thought it was very kind of gray and like muggy
Yeah.
looking. I don't know. The way it was shot, I was kind of not the biggest fan of. I thought the cinematography wasn't the best.
There were some neat shots though. I liked the beginning when they kind of showed when he was boiling the water and stuff on the boat and all that. I thought those were
Oh
pretty
yeah,
neat.
yeah,
Yeah.
I like
There's
that.
There's a few, but I get what you mean. Majority of the time, it's not really anything interesting.
Yeah. I think the camera work was good. Like there was some really good shots.
Yeah.
I think it's more just like the color grading and like the way it looked. I was like, it just kind of was dull. Like I don't know. When I think of Evil Dead movies, I typically think of like colors and more colorful than a typical horror movie is. So that kind of bugged me a little bit. But yeah, I mean, from what I can see on my list here of notes that I have, that's pretty much all of the thoughts that I have on this film. I would say that it's probably towards the lower end for me. I don't know necessarily. I probably wouldn't put it last like you did, Kyle. I still think Army of Darkness is probably my last, but that's another conversation. Preferences, right?
It's my second favorite.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And we talked about this before, Ian. I think your preferences and what you like in movies. Like if you lean towards the horror side, like Army of Darkness is probably not going to be pretty high for you, but I still think all of them are good. Like I don't think like Scream, earlier this year we got to the point where we've now had a bad Scream film. I still think there's a lot of good consistency when it comes to Evil Dead. We have to talk about the last thing though, and I almost forgot about it, and I'm so glad I remembered. What in the hell was that post-credit scene? I'm talking about inconsistency of rules within the franchise. That makes no sense to me. I mean,
Ellie's back. She's back, guys.
Yeah,
we have her back.
We got a somehow Ellie returned moment here. Where like she's just there. She kills a little like 8-year-old girl,
which just felt like just for the sake of being like, oh, she's so like oh my god, this is crazy.
Yeah,
it's
like so powerful, and then and then she's like, "Mommy's back." I'm like, "Oh my fucking!" What
are we doing with like an Avengers end?
This is
guys. Come on,
what are we doing here? Evil Dead Endgame? Like, I don't understand what is happening here.
And like y'all could talk about it more, but it's just I'm gonna go into specifics about why this is so stupid.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah,
for the fact that it's like, okay, first of all, they're not even in the same city in California. I'm pretty sure she's not even near where they live, so her ashes shouldn't be there. Secondly, what ashes? She got meat grinded into a chipper. Don't know what that means.
That's true.
And another thing is just that doesn't the lore, and now the rules don't make sense about what that even means or anything. You know what I mean? Like for her to come back as that Deadite, to come back as her, it just doesn't make sense now.
Doesn't. Yeah.
So I don't know, but those are some things.
Yeah. What about you, Kyle? What I'm assuming you agree with us, but
yeah, I was extremely disappointed. I don't know about you guys. Were you guys expecting maybe Ash to show up?
I wanted him so badly, man. I thought the car could have been an Oldsmobile. Oh man.
Yep, 100%. That's what I thought it was. That's what I thought when it pulled up. I'm like, could he be? Was he gonna step out of here? And what I thought is he was gonna come out of that car, walk up, and he was gonna take out the grandma or whatever when she was crawling.
Yeah,
I was
that
like,
would've been
that'd
great.
been so fucking
That
great.
would've
And
been
then
great,
I was just like, oh, okay, she's just
Yeah.
still alive. Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
I will say, so there before the movie actually released, obviously, you know, at screenings, I guess they had not shown the post-credit scene to people.
Yeah.
Just to avoid spoilers leaking before the release of the film. I'll be honest, I thought, I'll take it a step further than what you said, Kyle. I thought it was going to be Ash, and then we were going to get the return of Mia. So and then I thought, like, it was going to lead into, like, Wrath is going to obviously be a prequel that's going to talk about that cult that we kind of mentioned earlier. I know we didn't really talk about that either. And then we're kind of going towards like a finale type thing where like all the characters are going to reunite against some massive villain or something.
Yeah.
So I was a little bit disappointed that like, oh, we're just going back to the previous movie and bringing her back. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. So
I mean, they know we want Ash back, and I know
Right.
Bruce Campbell's fine if maybe Sam is a little bit more involved. I guess I don't know. They're both executive producers on everything. So
right. Yeah.
I would like to see. I mean, it should have been the Oldsmobile, man.
Yeah.
But even Mia could have come out of the Jeep or whatever.
Right.
That would have been
Right.
awesome.
Well,
I don't-
and we all know, like after 2013, they put that Ash post credit in there because like they were teasing going into a project with Mia and Ash. That was what it was going to do. It was kind of going to get back to the campier side a little bit, and it was going to be there. But I don't think the performance was the greatest on 2013 box office wise, so they kind of abandoned that in favor of the Ash vs. Evil Dead TV show. So
Right.
Yeah.
I've always thought that like that's kind of in their back pocket that they can always pull that card out if they need to. And I thought when I heard that about the screenings that they didn't show the post credits, I'm like, oh, it's got to be something big. And that was my thought. But then it was Ellie again, which like I really liked her. I thought she was obviously the standout in Evil Dead Rise, but I'm like that wasn't like you could have showed that at the screenings. Like that wasn't.
It wasn't that big of a deal.
Right? Yeah, it's like. Yeah, she was the most popular thing about the most recent movie. So, like, of course, it made sense. It doesn't make sense and how they did it, but it made sense for her to return somehow, right? But the way they did it didn't make sense.
But it's the thing too is that the next movie's gonna be a prequel, so it doesn't really. It's not gonna. What do you call it? It's not gonna come back until maybe after that movie.
Yeah.
Done.
Right.
So it's like
you're not following up with it. You're gonna have to wait another couple of years, probably. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and too that was why I always kind of thought that was weird that they did Burn and Wrath production wise like almost back to back.
Yeah.
And that's coming out next year, so it's not like we even have a long wait for Wrath in general. So the follow up project to that could be 2-3 years at most on the line. It might not be too long of a wait, and it didn't fit with the movie either.
No,
like that's the thing about it is I'm like that did not need to be here. Like, at all,
Was that Christopher name anything? I don't think I looked it up after, but the girl's like Christopher somebody, and then Ellie whatever. I don't know if that was anything. Probably not.
Maybe it'll play into Wrath. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it was the Easter egg for that, and it's going to be a character in that movie. I don't know.
And the last thing is the Easter egg of the Necronomicon from 2013 they showed, and that piece of paper was awesome. So hopefully, which made me wonder more. That I was like, oh, Mia, then right?
Yeah.
2013 is getting a lot of reference here, so
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever.
And I don't know if you guys. I thought it was funny because they kept talking about Joseph's grandpa the whole time. And then you get the scene with the grandma, going really slowly up the thing, and then you get Ash or Bruce Campbell in the background, and I'm like, wait a minute, what is going on here? I'm like, is Ash grandpa? Is that what we're gonna say here? I didn't.
He's a family friend. So
yeah, I was like, that's a little weird, but I just thought it was a fun little cameo, And,
I mean, and even the house they actually filmed this in, I think, was Ruby's house from Ash vs. Evil Dead as well.
Oh wow, okay,
yeah,
it's
not.
Okay.
It's the house. I'm sure it's not actually like a direct like connection. It's probably just that they had that house,
the set,
to use.
right?
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
But it's still cool. Yeah. So
yeah. So yeah, so that's kind of going to be unless you guys had any final thoughts, spoiler wise on the film, we can go forward and go from there. I enjoyed the film. I thought it was, like I said, it's going to be in my bottom 3, I would say, but I still think quality wise, we're still good with the Evil Dead franchise, and looking forward to Wrath and anything they really do past that point. I feel like we got to switch up the formula at this point. I think let's because this kind of did. That was another thing I actually forgot to mention. It felt a little bit like a template Evil Dead. Like, it was different in certain cases, but then it was kind of not at the same time. Like, it was same kind of story structure in what they gave us here. So yeah. Any final thoughts or anything like that from you guys on Evil Dead Burn?
I was gonna say, I mean, Edgar, Joseph's dad, wanting to weed eat. There's nothing to weed eat in that, in the grounds there. So I don't know what he's all mad about.
Yeah,
I was like, dude, there's like no grass for like at all.
Right,
It's completely barren, so I don't know what you're all
you need
mad
some
about.
fertilizer, if anything.
Right,
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah,
I will say I did enjoy some of the comedic moments. I thought they had some pretty good comedic, especially with the grandma. I thought that kind of kept circling back. Like I see people complaining like, oh, when are we going to get back to like the comedy and the campy side of Evil Dead? And I'm like, we're like, and we got it in Rise too. Like, we're still getting that. It's not as prominent, right, as Army of Darkness, Ash vs. Evil Dead, but it's still there.
Yeah, it's like in small doses. Yeah. No, I like it that way. I think I prefer my more horror over comedic, but I do obviously love Army of Darkness and Evil Dead 2, so and Ash vs. Evil Dead. So pick and choose what you want.
Well, I think Evil Dead 2 was, like, to me, the perfect balance. Like, that's if you want to go towards there and have more of a balance, I'm all for it. I still enjoy that, So,
for sure.
Even though 2013 to me is still the top dog, but
100%.
We'll go there. Okay, so we will move on. Let me share my screen here. So, Dune 3. Big trailer came out. Dune 3. Have we all seen the trailer here?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I like shit my pants multiple times watching this trailer. It was so good. I'll just say, obviously, like, Denis Villeneuve is a masterful filmmaker. I thought the first 2 films were utterly fantastic, with part 2 being one of my favorite science fiction action films of all time. I've watched it repeatedly since it came out. It was my favorite movie of the year. Obviously, the book that he's adapting here, Messiah, was very controversial at the time that it came out. It was not as well received as the original Dune book was. So I'm very curious to see kind of how he develops that story and kind of makes it his own, since he's confirmed as well. This is the final chapter. But I love this trailer. I watched it 25 times back to back after it came out. What about you, Ian? What did you think about the Dune 3 trailer?
Ooh, man, a lot. I mean, I just love the way it looks like it's being filmed. I love the cast is like stacked, which we already knew, but actually getting to see them, in motion, like Jason Momoa. I was like, that one scene when he comes down from the, oh man, that was so cool. And the sandworms look awesome. I mean, there's just so many shots in this film that just look so, I don't know, mesmerizing and everything. I just love it. And I do like the turn for Paul Atreides as well, which I don't know why people were, I don't know. I saw some people like, there's big defenders right now about.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I get it, but it's like,
Well, in that, if you know the history, that's the reason that Herbert wrote Messiah, was because so many people loved Paul and viewed him as the hero, and it's like that's not at all the story that he was telling. And I'm like, we are reliving that and redoing it all over again with these movies because there's so many defenders of Paul at this point, which I understand. Like, I mean, I don't defend his actions as a character. I love his character though. Like, I get it. Like, this.
I mean, he could be a flawed character and you still like him. That's the beauty of that.
That's the greatness of it.
But,
what about you, Kyle? What were your thoughts on the trailer?
Yeah, I think it looks awesome. It looks like we're gonna get almost like a war movie too out of this too, which looks. I'm all down. Be honest with you guys, this comes out obviously the same day as Doomsday. I'm more excited about Dune 3 than I am Doomsday. I don't know if that's a hot take. I'm 100%.
I'm right there with you.
So.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
People are more into Dune right now, especially since Doomsday hasn't gotten a trailer yet. So
that too. Yeah, that might change. We'll see how that.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, as of now, I mean, Timothy Chalamet, I think kills it as Paul Atreides. Like you said, a flawed character. I think those are the best characters in movies
Yeah.
too, because it's not just a good guy going after everything. Like that's boring. Nobody wants to see that. But yeah, the visuals look great. I love the war aesthetic. Looks like it's gonna be a little time jumpy possibly too, right? Because it's kind of going back and forth. So yeah, I can't wait for this.
I actually hung out with my buddy last night. I had a very terrible experience. You guys saw my message in the Discord. I tried to see the Odyssey last night. I went to a screening. I wasn't there as press or anything, and I waited 2 hours to then only get the option of sitting in the first 2 rows, so I left. But while waiting in that 2 hours, I talked with a buddy of mine who is a big fan of the books and loves the books. And he said, based off of what they've shown so far, that they're actually going to also be bringing in some elements of the later books as well. So this is not going to be a 1-to-1 adaptation of Messiah. He's basically it's mainly going to be Messiah, but then it's going to pull other stuff from the later books to kind of wrap up the saga as a whole. Which that's why I like that Denny is going to be able to kind of do his own thing with this. This isn't going to be limited and he wasn't really limited, I don't think, with the first 2 films either, but he was following the story, right? And here, I think he has a little bit more freedom and he can take a little bit more liberty with the story that he's telling. Kyle, what you said about what's better between like what we're more excited for, I think regardless of what our hype is going into the theater on December 18th, there is absolutely no doubt in my mind that Dune Part 3 will be the better film of the 2, regardless of how much excitement I have. I know this is going to be a better movie than Doomsday is. And I might love Doomsday too, but there's nothing that indicates to me that this is going to be bad. Right. And you talked about the cast. Yeah. I mean, the cast that we have carried over from the first 2 films is already great. And then you add in Robert Pattinson as the villain of this film. Oh, man. I mean, my God. And he's on a roll right now with these villain roles before he goes back to Batman. I'm like, he's obviously the villain in Odyssey, and what he did here, I'm like, just sign me in or sign me up. I like the dynamic between him and Chani here. Like, she is very angry about what he did. She's not happy, and I get it because he basically went back on his word from what he said he was going to do in the first 2 films. So yeah, I just this is my most anticipated film of the year, remaining of what's left.
Oh, yeah.
And that's crazy to think when we have a Spider-Man movie and an Avengers film coming out that I'm most excited for this. So.
I mean, it's not to say anything about those films necessarily. No. I think you just like this more, And plus, I do think it's a little bit more unique in that sense, too, just because I think it looks probably going to be visually better than most movies coming out this year. So it's gonna hit out of the park, I'm sure.
Yeah. And like, I mean, I don't know about you guys. Are you guys fans of all of Denny's like previous movies, even before Dune? Like,
I need to double check.
Prisoners,
Blade Prisoners Runner is fantastic.
Blade Runner for sure.
Blade Runner 2049, Arrival.
Arrival.
Yeah, I think there's other films I'm probably forgetting. But yeah, I think he's one of the best directors right now, and I think he's, because his career is not as lengthy as like Christopher Nolan or James Cameron or Steven Spielberg. He obviously doesn't get that type of recognition, but I think he is very much worthy and on the level of those guys. So.
I forget Sicario is also up there.
Sicario! Yeah. Oh my God, jeez, I knew I was forgetting something. I was like,
Andy's doing the next James Bond too, which is really exciting.
Oh shit!
Have you guys played First Light yet?
I have not.
Dude, if that's any indication of what Amazon is going to do, like if they're going to follow that template, because it's about a young James Bond, I am all in. I loved that game and I love that story. So
nice.
Yeah, I'm going to be getting it soon, so I'll be right up there with you. But I've been only hearing good things about it. So
So, okay, well, we'll go ahead and move on here. Let me change my screen here. There was another, really big release, one that just warranted so much hype and so much critical acclaim. That is the review. Let me pull her up. I know I had here. Yep, Moana. This masterpiece here that Disney decided to bless us with. Yeah. So
Sorry.
did any of us have any? Like, I know none of us saw it, so we're not going to comment on what our thoughts are. But did anyone have did you any of you want to see this movie? Was that ever a goal?
No, besides wanting to do a review for it to talk about how it's bad, no. I don't want to go just to see it for fun, no.
Right. Well, I'm glad we're in agreement because I think all of us don't. My daughter wants to go see this, and I'm kind of just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but I mean,
let's do it next week, maybe.
That's who's gonna see it though. But
right.
I just figured that we talked about it a little bit on council, but it's just the fact that this has barely even hit 10 years, and the live action treatment doesn't fit this movie whatsoever compared to the rest. Where I think it was Jordan that brought it up. There was actually more nostalgia there. I don't think there's been enough time for this to give you that nostalgia factor. Plus, Moana 2 just came out recently, so it's not like you didn't have this big gap in between content. It's after that you immediately get this one basically. So it's
yeah,
I don't know.
I think when you look at which of the live action Disney films actually are successful, like you said, it's the ones that are older, right? That we haven't had for a long time, that kind of pull the nostalgia strings for us, and that's the reason that we're going to the theater to see these, is because we want to relive our childhood. So it opened with 43 million domestically, which is one of the lowest openings for a live action Disney remake ever. The budget was 250 million.
Yeah,
this is a bomb of catastrophic levels. And Kyle, you'd probably appreciate this. When this report came out, people are like, all right, Dwayne's going to show up at SummerSlam here and go back to WWE.
He has a habit of doing that. Making a movie, it bombs, and shit.
It was like, all right,
WWE's doing.
Right after Black Adam, he was like, oh, let's go wrestle my cousin and interrupt one of the greatest storylines in the last 20 years.
Yep.
So, So, I mean, Kyle, are you surprised by this news? I mean, did you have any expectation that this would even remotely be successful?
I'm going to be honest. I thought they were going to make a little bit more money than it did. I didn't think it was going to do super well. But what was it? 40 million or whatever?
3 million domestically.
Yeah, that's real bad. And Dwayne's probably 200 of that 250 million in
that
budget too.
Yeah.
So
well, that went to the wig and
the wig, the steroids you had to take to get bigger.
No, he's a method actor. I'm sorry, I'm slandering him. That's his real hair and real tattoos.
No lie. Yeah,
well, I think they put a muscle suit on him, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Because he actually has gotten smaller. I don't know if you guys have realized that. He's not as big as he was. I'm like, it's probably because he's in his 50s and that years of steroid abuse is probably catching up to him. But I don't know. Like you said, when the trailer dropped and we all saw that wig and what he looked like, I think everyone was like, this is not going to be good. And from what I've heard from people who have seen it and reviewed it, it's basically a 1-for-1 remake. A lot of these live action remakes are.
And the better ones are the ones that actually try to do something different.
Take liberties, right. For me, Aladdin, that's the first one I think of where I'm like, that one changed things up, and I think it was for the better and made the movie.
Yeah, I agree.
So
And
you think
sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good.
I was gonna say there's some that we've had that are technically not remakes, but they're like a live action adaptation. Like Cruella was kind of neat. I like that. I gave a new spin or take on it. That wasn't shot for shot or anything like that. There was another one, I think. Well, you brought up Aladdin. Yeah, that was different enough.
Yeah. Mufasa was kind of that was like a prequel or whatever. But
unfortunately, I didn't see it.
Well, I think that came a lot of people weren't really excited about that either because of how they kind of felt burned from the live action remake, like the one from 2019. So no one was really that excited about it. So a lot of people just didn't see it, and I think that hurt it. But I don't know. I really hope this is the point where they kind of look at themselves and say, hey, we're not going to keep doing this and not, because they just want a live action remake everything. And like you said, I think it only works when you've had time in between. And I think this was the most egregious one because that movie was only 10 years ago. So it's not anything. I think the I don't even remember which one was the newest one before this one. Maybe Lilo and Stitch. I don't.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, which that one was still at least almost 20 years, right? So like that, or I think it was over 20 years if I remember.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
and I mean it made $1 billion. So
right.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they were doing, and I don't even really I don't pay attention, so I don't really know what ones they have in the works.
I mean, nothing interesting.
Yeah, nothing that I'm aware of. Maybe sequel, like I know they're doing a Lilo and Stitch 2, right, and stuff like that. But I don't know. I hope they put this stuff to bed at this point.
And if you were gonna do it, why don't you do like, Hercules sitting back there that I feel like you could do.
Oh my God.
You could do like a Atlantis or like a treasure planet or something like that to do, and they just picked let's do Moana. That was only 10 years ago, but
right.
I think it was a cash cow for them, so I figured they just thought that any Moana media is gonna get all this money, which obviously not. But like I prefer, like you said, Kyle, those are the best options, or things that actually didn't do well animated wise. So bringing it back, us being nostalgic for it, but also being like a new life for it, would be those movies, So,
right.
Yeah, I think what you said was spot on, Ian. Like the fact that Moana 2 just came out 2 years ago and it made $1 billion. Yeah. It's like, guys, like we're not starved for Moana. Like
we're getting a third one, evidently.
Right. Like they're still the animation series is still going. So it's like it's not like it's crazy. I kind of would like them to do maybe some of those early Pixar movies in live action. I think that would be interesting. I think those are kind of the movies, not Toy Story, because that's another one that we're still like in the middle of. But I don't know, maybe some of those early Pixar movies. I don't really have one off the top of my head that I think would make sense.
I think one that probably hopefully has more people to warrant it, right?
You probably can't do like Finding Nemo or Bug's Life or anything like that.
Let them do it. Let's see what they
Cars. Do. Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be funny to see how they did that.
Maybe some of the ones that didn't do well that aren't even the earlier. Well, no, they should do the early. Well, The Incredibles, but I don't want them
they
to
could do that. Yeah.
They can, but I don't want them to.
Yeah, I wouldn't want. No. Well, and if they did, I would want it to be different, right? Like I would want them to take liberties and change it up, not just do a shot-for-shot remake, basically.
Yeah.
I just saw 2 that they can make, and I don't want them to.
Which
Ratatouille.
Ones? Oh yeah.
Or Up, because Up is mainly humans except for the animals, so
dog and stuff. Yeah.
But
I think Josh O'Connor was getting pissed the other day in an interview because like everyone keeps fan casting him as the guy from Ratatouille. I can't remember his name.
Linguini.
Yeah. He's like, I don't want to play him, and they said I wanted to play him. I was just laughing at that.
He's like Gusto's son, bro.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Like he's like, okay.
Brave would be neat, just because I don't think that one did well.
Yeah.
It's technically a Disney princess film, so I bet that would be neat for like girls that didn't get to see that original meal.
Yeah,
Princess and the Frog, that could be one too. Maybe you do.
That would be a good one too. Yeah.
But that's the problem. They want to do ones that they think are guaranteed cash cows.
Yeah.
And, they just proved that that's not always correct because no one went to go see this movie. I mean, you even talked about it, and you're like, "Oh yeah, kids are the ones that want to go see this movie." Well, doesn't look like they really do.
I guess not.
Yeah, we thought so, but it's no, clearly not. No. So
they're watching Moana 2 at home on Disney Plus.
Yeah. Which I mean, I even had issues with that film. Like it wasn't the best and felt like a Disney Plus movie because it was supposed to be. But hey, it made $1 billion. It's still very successful. So what can you do? So enough talk about Dwayne. We're gonna kind of move on from there. This one's gonna be a little bit of a sadder subject. Obviously, we got news yesterday that Sam Neill had passed away. Obviously very legendary actor, very well known for his role in Jurassic Park as Dr. Alan Grant. I was very sad when I heard this news. I thought, I don't know. There's not really many thoughts I have on it. I was just very upset. Obviously, big part of my childhood. I loved the Jurassic Park films. Everyone always makes the joke when I go on console from Jurassic Park 3 about Alan, and I'm like, all right, that's not going to hit as well as it once did now that he's passed. So we'll I don't want to harp on this too long just because it's kind of a sad one. What was your thoughts, Ian, when you saw the news that he had passed away?
it's devastating to see any of these actors we like to see on screen, pass away, especially him, since he's had so many good roles. I mean, obviously Jurassic Park, but
Yeah.
he had I remember him in what's it called? Why am I Event Horizon. I liked him a lot in that movie.
Yep.
He also was, I think, a smaller part, but I remembered him in the Red October movie, I believe. The Hunt of Red October. He had a great list of films.
He was really great. I don't know if either of you watched it. He was the villain of like the first 2 seasons of Peaky Blinders, and he was fantastic in that.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he was the copper that was kind of in a back and forth situation with Tommy in that show. So that was I thought he was really underrated in that, and that was later in his career, obviously, because that show came out, I believe, in the last 10 years it started. So that was a newer one. What about you, Kyle? What was your immediate reaction? I'm assuming it was probably the same as us, but
yeah, it sucks. Obviously Jurassic Park, big thing. In my childhood, especially, that's one of my favorite franchises. Like you said, Event Horizon, I think he's great in there. Everybody talks about In the Mouth of Madness. I've never seen that yet, but I've heard he's phenomenal in that as well. He's also Damien in like the third Omen movie randomly too, which is kind of funny to go back and look at. Yeah,
I didn't really want to bring that one up because I'm like,
it's not a good movie.
No, yeah.
It's just kind of funny to see him there. Yeah, no, it's the unfortunate thing. I thought about this. I mean, what, a year ago, whenever Val Kilmer passed, is unfortunately we're all getting to that age where a lot of our favorites growing up are getting older. Harrison Ford, Sly, Schwarzenegger, and Bruce Willis. I mean, the unfortunate thing he's going through, that's going to devastate me when that happens.
Right,
but it just kind of sucks. The older we're getting, it's starting to lose some of our.
Yeah, it's like I think back to like, when I was younger and some of my like parents' favorite actors, favorite artists would pass, and like I didn't really understand their reaction at that time because they weren't for me that way, and like you said, we're kind of getting at that point where some of the actors that were legends for us growing up are now starting to have complications or passing away. It just reminds us that we're all mortal, right? We all our day will come one day, and at least for someone like Sam Neill, he will always live in infamy. He'll always be someone who is remembered fondly. I mean, he was never an actor that was in trouble or anything like that. He was never living the actor's life and having a hard fall. He always seemed like a good person. He kept himself well. He lived a good life. It's from what I can tell. I didn't know him, but from what I can tell, he lived a good life from what everyone who was around him says. I wish, obviously, his last Jurassic World performance and movie that he was in would have been better because then I fondly back on that last performance. But I will always fondly look on that original performance as Dr. Alan Grant, and how many memories I've made over the years watching that film, and partly because of him. I know it was an ensemble, but he was great in that role, and he added great things. So.
Of course, we can only think fondly about what they did in their work and everything.
Right. So, right. Yeah, that's all we can do. We can only hope that maybe we can leave a mark where people remember us right when we pass. And
of course,
I think he did. He did enough of that. So, so we're gonna go ahead and move on. Obviously, onto a little bit of a happier subject. I kind of wanted to do these ones back to back. Freddy is back, baby. Let's fucking go. After forever, he's finally here. I dropped my phone. I'm over here
well, the excitement,
I'm so excited. I mean, it's been forever, right? It's been so long. I mean, the last time we saw anything at Nightmare on Elm Street related was in 2009. It was that fucking god-awful remake. Look, I know there's defenders of it. I like Jack Earl Haley. I don't want to shit on him. He did as good as he could with that performance. It was a dog shit movie. You make Freddy Krueger a pedophile, and I immediately fucking hate you. And I know it was implied in the original series, but they never explicitly stated it or showed it. And that I will always hate that movie for that. And Friday the 13th, which we're going to talk about soon, was in a similar situation where it was in limbo, but forever. But at least with that, I think the 2009 remake of Friday the 13th was great. So at least we left off on something good.
Yeah.
Before that remake in 2010, the last movie was Freddy vs. Jason, which I loved. That was in 2003. That was so long.
Yeah.
Like, we have with a quality Freddy film, it has been 23 years. Like, I don't know why it took so long, but I'm glad we're finally here. I'm a little confused on the details and what they're saying about it. Supposedly it's the original script, but it's not going to be a remake. I'm assuming Robert Englund's not coming back, which sucks. But he's basically been steadfast for years that he's not going to come back. He's too old, So, what was your thoughts? Where did you have the same excitement as me, Ian? I assume you did.
Yeah, no, very much so. I hate these legal battles they keep going through and how they keep us from being able to get new movies from these characters and stuff, especially from Freddy. But no, it was awesome. Back to back, I was like, okay, cool. Crystal Lake and now this. I'm like, I'm like Freddy versus Jason. Come on, not just kidding.
Yeah,
but just in
hey,
general,
let's do it again. I don't care.
Yeah,
if that keeps them around, I don't give a fuck. Do it. Just do it.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing you brought up about this new one does have interesting plot details, like nothing extensive, just saying that it's set in the world of Nightmare on Elm Street, but based on the first movie, like you said.
Right.
So it's a really weird thing, but
well,
I'm
they,
really
they
curious.
said specifically the script, like they got the rights for the script of the original film, and I'm like, what does that even mean? I don't.
Works better for them than it does for Friday the 13th, where that one is like the first one is owned by someone else, but the rest of the sequels with Jason are owned by other people. So at least with this one, you could still have Freddy. You could still have him do his thing. You don't need to worry about the sequels very much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in terms of making a new, continuing on or whatever with a new franchise or something. So, I mean, that's more promising. But yeah, I'm not expecting Robert Englund. I'm expecting a new guy to come in and take the role and hopefully does pretty well. So we'll see if they even end up, like, whenever they decide to actually get into production for a new film, like full on. So yeah, I
will say the only thing that's got me a little bit worried with how they've handled one of my other favorite franchises is that it's Paramount. Because I think the way they've handled Scream, I liked 5 and 6. I've definitely come down on 7 a lot from where I was when I first saw the movie. But their handling, like behind the scenes, was terrible from the beginning. I think they've lowballed everyone. They've tried to cut costs in any way. So I just hope we don't get any of that. Kyle, what about you? What, same? I'm assuming, yeah. I mean, we're correct. Yeah.
I've been waiting. Freddy has always been my guy. Love Jason, love Michael, Ghostface. Yeah. For me, it's always been Freddy and Chucky. Those have always been my 1 and 2.
Right. Yeah.
So when I hear this, are there things that worry me? Yes. Paramount. Yeah. That is a big worry for me as well. The whole wording of like that, it's not a remake, but you're using the script from the first. Yeah, it's just a weird thing to say. Like, don't even say it. Just leave it alone.
Yeah.
But I do hope it's not just a remake. I do hope we're just picking up and it's just a bunch of kids going through shit and Freddy pops up. I don't need Nancy in the movie. I don't need all these characters from the original. Just give me a good Freddy, a good director as well. I'm really hoping Fede Alvarez, they can throw some money at that guy to make a Nightmare on Elm Street, because I think that'd be phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I don't know who's going to play Freddy. I don't want it to be a big name, though. I almost kind of want it to be.
Yeah?
Hey.
I can see it.
I saw that, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Especially after what he just did in Evil Dead Bird. I'm like,
yeah.
And he's not a big actor either. So, like, I don't know.
I can see it.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to push for it, but,
The only name I've heard that I'd be A-okay with, because I think he would kill it, is Walton Goggins. I think he would be such a good Freddy.
Yeah. The comedy side too. Oh, man.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, he would kill it. Yeah, that's actually wow. That's a good. I didn't even really think about that one. It's been out of my head for so long because we just haven't gotten any movement. I haven't thought about, like, if we reboot Nightmare on Elm Street, who's it going to be? Right. That hasn't even been like in my mind because it's been nothing for so long. So now I think the possibilities are endless. I'm really surprised that it took this long because obviously we had like the whole requel craze of like the late 2010s that time period, like with like, you know, Scream and Halloween and all that. You know, so I thought that would be the only thing that maybe would get Robert Englund back. I actually have an interesting story. I met him back in 2015 at like one of our conventions here in Cleveland. And I had asked him like point blank at that time. I was like, hey, like, are you like, would you ever come back? Is there anything that would make you consider coming back? I know it's been a long time. And he was like, for me, it would take a lot for me to come back because I am someone who very much values the stunt work with being Freddy, and I just can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm like, from that perspective, I understand, you know, because I'm like, he's an actor's actor. He wants it to seem as real as possible. But I'm a little concerned on who's going to take over because it's you have big shoes. I mean, there's just Freddy is one of the most iconic horror guys ever. Like he's one of the faces of horror. Like you said, Kyle, even with someone like Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, that's not a specific person. Like no matter who the actor is under the mask, we don't really care, right? And it's aura, it's just them as an entity. Freddy Krueger's his iconicness comes from the performance of Robert Englund and the personality of Robert Englund. So I think if as much as I like, you know, now I'm thinking about it a little bit more, as much as I like what you said about Walton Goggins, it's like, would that feel like we're copying Robert Englund, right? Like, I will say at least Jackie Earle Haley, like he did feel like his own version, right? It felt, it was terrible, and it was the writing was bad, but it felt at least different. It wasn't Robert.
It was
Englund.
A little darker. Yeah,
he wasn't trying to copy Robert Englund, right? That's what it felt like. So I would like something like that. But with maybe more of balance, you know, do not make him a pedophile. That is my only requirements that I say is like, just don't do that. That's just the worst thing you can do. Yeah. So this news just, it gets me so excited. I can't believe we're finally here. We're finally getting something. And maybe they'll take some notes from the Alien and the Predator franchise, and we will eventually get Freddy vs. Jason again. You know, maybe with a little bit more build-up this time, though, not just, you know, one post-credit scene and then 10 years later we get a movie. So, all right. Well, if no other final thoughts on that, we can move on to the next topic. Let me see if I even saved it. I don't know if I did. Yes. So the trailer, I'm going to pause it though because I'm not trying to get copyrighted. For the new film Digger, starring Tom Cruise from, I'm going to try to pronounce this, Alejandro G. Naruto. I'm not going to even say that I did that wrong. I butchered the shit out of it.
Perfect.
Yeah, so this film follows a powerful CEO in the world who must save the world from disaster that he created. I am very confused on what the hell this movie is. I watched that trailer and I am like, wow, I don't know what this is. I don't know what to expect. It really gave me the vibe, though, of Tom Cruise's character from Tropic Thunder and that performance and kind of the over-the-topness. And after getting him in a decade of Mission Impossible films, I am super excited for this movie. And I can't wait to see it. I didn't know what like I said, I'm confused on what the movie's about, but that did not wane my my interest and my excitement. Kyle, I'll go to you. How did you feel about this trailer?
I think it looks awesome. I like you said, the tone is different with this one. And the fact that I don't know what it is kind of excites me a little bit. This is going to be the push for Tom Cruise to get an Oscar. I think this is his push to finally get him at least nominated of some sort. So, yeah. And the director, he's the same guy who did The Revenant, right?
I believe so. I believe so.
And The Revenant's a great movie. So, I'm excited about it for sure.
What about you, Ian? What were your thoughts?
No, right away. Just Tom Cruise putting on some, put on some weird getup,
prosthetics,
prosthetics, and also I have to point out what a just right away too with the cat being an animatronic cat. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
What is happening?
Man?
Yeah,
but I mean, I think it's kind of funny because it's like a dark humor kind of thing. Because I think since he's the CEO, he's trying to pretend like
Hey, I take that as a compliment, Chainsaw. Thank you.
Thank you, J-Dog.
Yeah, thanks, J-Dog. Thanks.
But no, it's pretty fun premise to have this guy that caused this whole thing to be like, no, guys, I'll fix it. Don't you worry.
Very relevant, I think, too. And, today's time, right? With
Very
true.
how people feel about CEOs at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely relevant. Definitely looks like we're getting, like you said, Kyle, a push here to get Tom Cruise that Oscar. I think, he's had fun, obviously, being the crazy stunt man. He's done some of the craziest shit we've ever seen in Hollywood doing that. But I think now that he's getting older, he's like, hey, it's time for me to buckle down and let's get some recognition for the acting ability, which he's always had. I've always said I think Tom Cruise is one of the most underrated actors in Hollywood. He's just chosen to do the crazy stunt shit, while his body still can do it.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
I mean the trailer before this trailer was funny because it was just literally going through all his work.
Right.
Yeah. A montage.
Yeah.
It's basically like, hey, you know who I am. Show up to the
Right.
theater. You're gonna show up because it's me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And even more confirmation probably that this is wanting to be that Oscar performance that he could get. you
Right.
know?
Mhm.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, like I said, I watched the trailer for the first time with my wife, and like she looked over to me after it ended and was like, "What the fuck did we just watch?" And I'm like, "I don't know," but we're both excited. We both were like, "Okay, that looks very interesting.
Mhm.
I'm looking forward to it." So yeah. It's,
John Goodman as president is a really nice
Yeah.
step too.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, he's someone too who has not won an Oscar before. So
Yeah.
That's true.
maybe depending on what he does here, that could be
Get him
something
a
that we look at
supporting
as
role
well.
of some sort. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, get him a best supporting actor. That'd be great. That both of these guys are in there. So, all right. So we will move on. Unless you guys had any other thoughts, we're gonna move on.
I'm okay.
So a bunch of Marvel news kind of came out. So we'll go through everything here. I'll start with Spider-Man: Brand New Day. That was not the picture. Pull it. Let's try that one. Okay. So we'll start with Spider-Man: Brand New Day. Early projections. Obviously, this movie's coming out in 2 weeks. We're very close to Spider-Man: Brand New Day. I don't know your guys' excitement level. I'm actually, at least at this present moment, I'm more excited for this than Doomsday, just because what we've been revealed about the film. It's tracking right now to open with $230 to $250 million domestic, which is one of the biggest openings for a movie this decade. Where's that superhero fatigue that everyone's talking about? Because I see this and I'm like, it must only be for mediocre movies, which is what we've been saying all this time. And again, this movie, it could be bad, right? I'm not going to sit here and say it's going to be great, but, Spider-Man is definitely going to pull in those box office numbers. So are any of you surprised by these early projections for Brand New Day?
No, not at all. It's going to make $1 billion on day one.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be crazy. I don't think that's happening, but
but basically, because I mean, from what we've seen the track record of, I mean, these are going to just keep making money and money. But Spider-Man's like the one character I feel like you could always promise most of the time to like rake in the most money
right
in a superhero movie,
I think the lowest of the franchise is like the first Andrew Garfield movie, which that one made, I think, almost $700 million or something. It was an insane number.
Right.
So Spider-Man's always like, I get why Sony doesn't want to give up the rights because it's always been such a profitable, franchise for them. So I totally get it. I'm super excited for this movie, though. I mean, just like what we've seen so far, that we still don't know who the villain is. Like, we have no idea. Obviously we got John Bernthal in there. Was that someone's cat?
Yeah,
that's mine. Yeah.
Okay.
Sean, shut up.
I find it funny too because there's this picture over in the corner of this cat like looking shocked too, and then all of a sudden I hear a cat meowing. We got John Bernthal in the film. We got Mark Ruffalo back as Hulk, which it seems like we're gonna get traditional Hulk that we've been missing for a while. I've been avoiding all of the clips and stuff they're releasing because I got a glimpse of one the other day and I'm like, okay, we're at the point where we're very close to release, and Sony is doing the thing where they just reveal their entire movie for some reason before we actually get to it. So I'm at the point where I'm avoiding watching anything at this moment.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Yeah, I kind of hate when they start doing that.
Yeah, it's like, guys, like we're so close. Why even do that?
I mean, take a note out of Doomsday. Don't post anything.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I think there's a good middle ground that we can hit. It's not that because
I mean, maybe like a coffee pop-up would be nice. I would like that.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
But
I don't really understand that like whole marketing thing, especially because they showed the trailer at CinemaCon back in April. So I mean,
Yeah.
we're like 3 months past that. We still haven't even seen that trailer that they did.
Yeah, because they would laser your eyes if you if you took
I
out your phone.
guess. Yeah, I mean, and there was no leaks of that either, which is kind of crazy. We at least
That
Well,
is crazy.
It's
Yeah.
because I found out that they have this like weird thing now where whenever they do have a phone pop up in the wherever it was taking place,
In
they
the
do
crowd,
have
yeah.
this weird tech thing that's like the laser will point at the phone,
Oh
so
my
it
God.
would just like distort that.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, it's something. It's not even made up. I found out from like a bunch of people online that were saying that, and I'm like, wow, they're really serious nowadays with this stuff now. But
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Weird stuff. Yeah. All right. So we'll go kind of move on to Doomsday. I'm gonna pull it up here. So they released some official concept art for Doomsday here. So let me pull this up. So we're kind of we're at the point where we are starting to get more news about Doomsday in general. So I'll kind of read the tidbit comment that came out with this. Sorry, that Kevin Feige said. He said the character roster in Avengers Doomsday is about putting these characters together that never should really be together. That's quite a comment.
Yeah, that's
it's assembling heroes that might not get along and forcing them to do what's best for the world. Seeing the X-Men, the Avengers, the New Avengers, and the Fantastic Four together is a dream I never thought would come true. I agree with that 1,000%. These are obviously all teams that I would love to see together. I have a little bit of a problem, and I even had this issue when they did like the whole chair announcement and announced who's in it. The specific characters we picked, I didn't love, particularly on the X-Men side. I think that's kind of where, we're a little underwhelming to me. But I think there's more characters in this movie than what they're leading on.
Yeah, they're not telling us.
Yeah. So when you guys saw this concept art, and I'll start with you, Kyle. When you saw this concept art, did you think it looked good? How compared to maybe some of the previous Avengers films? How did you feel about it?
I mean, I don't think it looks bad. I'm kind of confused on why is it being marketed like this and not like just release the fucking trailer. You know what I mean?
Right.
Cool. I mean, these are all people I knew were already in the movie.
Yeah.
Now I'm just seeing Steve's in a black shirt with long hair. I guess
what's
that's cool.
Why is he just like
holding Mjolnir too?
Yeah, I'm like he's just like
Captain
dressed like
Dad.
me on a Sunday. Like I'm so confused.
Yeah, he does look like he looks like a dad. He does.
Yeah. Which I mean, I know that was revealed in one of those teasers that they did earlier this year. Or not even earlier this year. Jesus, that was back in December. That he's a dad now. So okay,
Right.
I get it. I thought we were going to get some type of like maybe nomad look or something.
Yeah.
The fact that he's rolling out in a t-shirt, and they did reveal pretty big, big detail here that he's holding Mjolnir in his hand right now. So, I think that's very interesting for what the implications of where Steve is at in like the timeline of events, because he was supposed to take that bad boy back, but it's broken too. So I don't know. I'm like, it looks like
the Ragnarok one, yeah,
or Love and Thunder when they got it back and.
Oh, you sorry,
wasn't it? Yeah, it was Love and Thunder. It broke in Ragnarok, but then Thor got it back in Love and Thunder. With Jane and everything.
Yeah.
What about you, Ian? How did you feel about this concept art?
I was actually when I saw it, I went back to the other ones. I just like it's kind of weak in terms of and I know it's concept art
compared to the other ones. It's not the best.
Yeah. I'm not gonna bag on it too much. Again, concept art. It's not supposed to be like a perfectly polished thing, but definitely not the best we've had. Because I saw the Ultron one again from back in the day, and that one looked insanely.
That one was so good. Yeah,
that looked so cool.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of confused how they want to like present them here, because like I get the X-Men, Fantastic Four, New Avengers, but then they're not, which they're probably gonna wait to show it in the movie. But like Sam doesn't really get his own team set up in this, when he's supposed to, and I don't know, and also like Steve, but I'm sure Steve will have a suit in the movie, and there's a lot of details we're gonna get in the movie that's not from this, so it's just kind of whatever.
Right.
Loki's also kind of chilling in the middle right there too.
Yeah, secretly a little bit.
Yeah. Are you guys okay with maybe talking about some leaks?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the rumor with Loki is that he is killed off screen in this movie, and he basically only appears through visions with Thor. That has been the thing. And when I look at this poster and I see Loki right on Doom, and he looks ghostly in his presentation, I'm like, ooh, that's a little ghosty. Yeah. I'm like, ooh, I don't like that.
I don't either.
Yeah, because especially where, you know, I loved Loki, the TV show, and where that left off at the end of season 2. I wanted to see that confrontation. Like we all had an idea that Doom was going to confront and fight Loki because where he's at and the power that he possesses at the end of season 2. If that happens off screen, though, that's going to be very disappointing. Because
I thought that would be more of like an end of the movie, end of Doomsday maybe, and that leads into Secret Wars because now Loki's gone.
Yeah,
but
in Battle World and stuff becomes
right. And you know, I have obviously been following along with leaks and stuff on this film basically since it was announced. And we've gotten contradicting stuff. Like early reports said that there was a like huge final battle on in the TVA and everything. So like I always assumed that, like you said, Kyle, the kind of the confrontation between him and Loki would be like the ending of the movie. So I don't know. You know, they could be wrong, right? You always have to take leaks with a grain of salt. I'm kind of in the boat where it's like I either take it with a grain of salt or this movie is getting edited around a lot. You know, which wouldn't be the first time. You know, it's a Marvel movie. There's been many reports of movies getting changed a lot and having a lot of different changes and scrapping entire plot lines. So I mean that could be real. I'm not going to sit here and say, you know, that's not the case, but yeah, they just got to release the damn trailer already at this point. I mean, we're only 5 months less away from the film. Dune Part 3 is releasing on the same day, and we have 2 trailers already.
I assume they're going to be doing it next week with Comic-Con and stuff.
And we'll kind of let me just pull up the next part about Marvel that we were going to talk about. Ooh. You know, they announced basically the current runtime is 2 hours and 46 minutes, which, you know, I kind of expected anywhere from 2.5 to 3 hours for the film. And tickets will go on sale next week for certain premium formats. They're saying on Monday, the 20th, is when that's going to happen. So I'm assuming that doesn't mean all ticket sales. It'll probably just be the big stuff like Dolby, their new Infinity Vision bullshit that they did to counteract. To counteract IMAX because they lost the screens to Dune, and any, you know, premium formats and stuff like that. And then the rumor is that trailer will happen at San Diego Comic-Con, which they're doing a presentation there. I'll be there. I'm not going to probably be in Hall H though for that because I don't want to camp out for 3 days just to watch the Doomsday trailer. That's kind of where I'm at. But yeah, so, you know, obviously with that news, I'm a little irritated because I kind of wanted tickets for both Dune and Doomsday to go on sale at the same time, so I can map out how I'm gonna do that day at the movies because I'm seeing both opening night.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, you know, will you guys be buying tickets come Monday?
Maybe. I'm usually not the one to pre-buy my tickets too often now. The days, but what do you think, Kyle? Are you gonna get any?
I'm usually the same way. Like I might wait till maybe like a month beforehand when it's like I can be like, oh yeah, I can for sure go this day, but I don't want to buy tickets and then be like, oh, something came up and then I gotta cancel it, and then it's gonna be a real pain to find tickets day before and stuff like that. So yeah, probably not.
I ain't gonna lie, I already put in a request at work to have that Thursday off. Both Doomsday and Dune come out, so I'm like, I know the day I'm gonna be able to go and see this movie, but I'm trying to make it work because I have you know, certain theaters that have, like, I have one theater that they just put in an IMAX and a 70 millimeter theater. And then I have another theater that has Dolby and then a 70 millimeter. So I'm like, I'm trying to figure out what my best course is going to be that day. Cause I don't want to leave. Like, I don't want to go to a different theater to see the movies that day. I would like to be at one theater and spend the day there to see both films. Yeah. Were you guys around? Like, were you guys, like in the weeds when Endgame came out? And like, did you have to buy tickets for that chaotic mess?
I didn't pre-order them. I actually did kind of like, I'm like me and Kyle, we just like, I got mine probably like maybe a month before, maybe.
Okay.
So
yeah. The only one I pre-ordered for Infinity War.
Okay.
I remember doing that on Fandango or whatever. But yeah, Endgame, I think it was similar. Where it was like a month before.
Yeah.
I was like, let me pick a day here, and hopefully it works out.
Yeah. At the time, that was like when AMC A-List first came out, and I was like, really going to the movies, and that website was crashed like the entire day.
Damn.
Like there was, I remember someone told me a trick though, and I was able to work around it where you could buy. I didn't even know this. You could buy like through your AMC A-List reservations through Fandango if you have your account linked. I didn't even know that. So someone had told me that day, and they're like, Fandango is working where AMC's crashed. So I was able to just go on there, and the whole theater was open because no one was able to get tickets for AMC being crashed. So it worked out perfectly. But yeah, I'm like, I don't think you know how often that even happens with movies nowadays is not the same. Like it's not, you know, like the sites don't crash like that all day. Like that was an exclusively like Endgame thing. Yeah, you'll get it for maybe 30 minutes to an hour. And then half the time too, when the sites crashed, you get into the actual theater and you're like, there's like 2 tickets sold. Why was this crashed? Like, why could I not buy tickets? I don't really understand. So yeah, I don't really think that will be the same thing for Doomsday. I'm a little bit more worried though, because I mean, I imagine this movie is probably not going to be in 70 millimeter in my area. I would say that's probably gonna be Dune, right? I would guess. You know, that seems to be the film that's shot for it specifically. So I don't know how much of a rush. Like I might wait until Dune drops and then grab both just to be safe.
Yeah, I think going Dune first would be the move.
I think I might see Doomsday first though.
Oh, okay.
I might see Doomsday, but I think I would want to wait until I get my tickets. I could get tickets for both essentially for it.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll kind of move on. Like I said, there was a bunch of tidbits essentially that dropped on Marvel. So Joe Russo, I hate this whole back and forth that the Russo brothers are doing about the connection between Doom and Tony Stark. I feel like we've gotten like 7 different answers at this point. So he won't reveal whether Doctor Doom has a connection to Tony Stark in the MCU. He says it will all make sense when you watch the movies. We're back to phase 0. This is starting over from scratch. We want to make sure everybody feels like we're not leaning on anything from the past.
Oh, God.
Which, I don't know how you guys feel, but that comment is so fucking tone deaf. If you didn't want to lean on anything from the past, why did you cast Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom?
Exactly.
That doesn't even make any sense.
Well,
so,
yeah. This whole thing
ahead,
in general is just the fact that Doomsday was made out of the kind of Marvel sort of like having to rework everything and trying to get to a different place now, because not just from the Kang stuff, but just for the fact that like unfortunately their stuff is not doing as well as they would hope as well.
Right.
I don't hate anything really that they put out. It's just more like you could see the decline obviously post Endgame with like. Why is
click on this? We want to make sure everyone feels like we're not leaning on anything from the past. Why is he lying?
Oh no. Yeah, but
like,
no,
that's odd point.
No, very dumb. I don't know what he means. It's just like don't say anything then, please.
Yeah.
Just don't even answer these questions.
Well, and a lot of the leaks too have kind of said that like we're not even really gonna know it's Robert Downey Jr. until probably very late in the film. Like he's gonna be masked up and be Doom.
Which I'm glad.
Which, yeah, I am too. That was my honest to God. When I first heard the announcement after the initial excitement, I was like, oh no, we're going to get a maskless Doom for the entire movie. That was my first thought process. But so I'm glad we're not going that way. Yeah, Kyle, when you hear these comments, I mean, like, what comes to mind? I mean,
it's just unnecessary. It's the same shit James Gunn does.
Right.
Or it's like word salad. They have to keep talking, and I get you're trying to hype it up. I get it, trust me. But all of us are going to see Doomsday. You don't have to sit here and this was the original plan. It's like, well, we know that's not true because Jonathan Majors was the original plan with Kang, and that's gone. So you pivoted when Doomsday. We'll see how it works out. But that it's just that stuff just doesn't need to be said. Just leave it alone. We're all gonna go see the movie.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It just drives me nuts. It's just the big wigs do it all the time.
Right.
They do.
Yeah, and usually it's like the directors specifically don't, but like the Russo brothers, and on this particular topic about Downey as Doom, it's like they keep saying contradictory things like over and over about it. And I'm like, guys, can we just be quiet? Stop asking and answering these questions. Just tell people to go see the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I know it would be repetitive and annoying to not really get an answer, but I would rather that than whatever we're doing here. Because, like you said, it's just nothing. It's word salad. It's
You'll get your answer in the movie when you watch it. That's how you You're like,
right.
oh, okay.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm kind of the belief that I think if there is a connection, which I really don't want there to be, I'm that's just where I'm at. Like, the theories have been out of control on like what the connection will be, and I kind of really don't want one. I just want them because we've already established that in the multiverse that like there's people that look different. Like there's 3 Spider-Men that all look different, right? You know, they all have different universes that are drastically different. Like I think there's a world where we can just say he for some reason looks like Tony Stark, you know?
Right.
And, yeah, they could just acknowledge it. You know, all of them could be like Tony, and then of course he doesn't need to say anything. He could just be like, "Who?" Like I don't, you know what I mean?
am willing to bet my entire life savings that between Doomsday and Secret Wars, there is going to be a scene where Doom is fighting the Avengers, takes off the mask, Spider-Man's there, and he's going to go, "Mr. Stark."
Yeah.
Like I will literally bet my entire life savings.
You heard it here, guys, on the podcast.
Yeah, like I will bet it is 1,000% going to happen.
Yeah,
and I think that's the reason that they wanted him is I think in the movie it's going to be because that's how he's going to be able to get the trust of the heroes.
Oh yeah,
looks like
for sure.
And I think that's it. And then he's going to betray them, and then that's going to be it. I think that's the extent. I don't think there's really some deeper connection, but I think the Russo brothers are doing themselves a disservice by trying to remain mysterious and act like there's going to be some type of connection.
Yeah,
shoot him and hurt him in the long run. So.
Yeah, I like that Kyle brought that up. I was like, yeah, or you could be on Threads just answering every nobody that's just asking you a random answer.
Yeah,
it drives me nuts.
Yeah. At least they're not doing the James Gunn route and doing that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I hate that, man.
It's very frustrating there. So yeah, I believe that was it. Last thing, real quick. I mean, we can go over this. This one we kind of already knew. You know, another tidbit. I feel like these were all from the same interview wherever Feige was doing it. So Kevin Feige reveals the X-Men movie will release very soon after Avengers: Secret Wars. After Secret Wars, the mutants are coming, the X-Men are coming. That's been a dream of mine. I started with the X-Men many years ago, and to bring a new version into the MCU is going to be very exciting. I think this is all what we're waiting for. I mean, really, at this point, I think you can even hear the way that Kevin Feige talks about it. That this phase and this saga that we've gotten maybe wasn't the most passionate that he has had, and it's kind of been just to bode some time to get to what he really wants to do, which is the X-Men. A little confusing, because he says this and he wants to do a new X-Men, and then he brings all the old ones back for Doomsday and Secret Wars and everything like that. I don't know. Feel a little weird about it, but obviously,
nostalgic, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and like he said, he was involved with that original X-Men film back in 2000. That's where he said he learned a lot, from those films, the Raimi films, and that's how he kind of got Kevin Feige, the version that he is today, is from learning on those sets and through those experiences. What about for you, Ian? Like, are you shocked that we're pretty much going to go straight into X-Men right after Secret Wars? Excitement level, where are we at?
I'm really excited to see a new X-Men after what had happened with the series that kind of dwindled after, in my opinion, X-Men: Days of Future Past. After that, I didn't really care for many of the films after. But no, I'm really excited. But I will say that it's clear that he just wants to get to it. He's like, put the fries in the bag, guys. We just need to.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
He's like, guys, just wrap this up and get to my X-Men, please.
Yeah.
Which is fine because the X-Men are fantastic characters to focus on, and he clearly has more of a passion for that, it seems. So I'd rather see all the passion from him into that than like something where I'm not trying to say Doomsday or Secret Wars ain't going to be good. I'm just saying that like I think they'll put that passion into that to get to this point. So that So anyway, but yeah,
I agree. Kyle, what about you? I mean, are you surprised that we're just basically? I mean, I don't know the way that they're talking. It seems like this might actually be like the first movie post
Mhm.
post. I don't know if that means because he said very soon, but like I don't know. I'm like I don't know of any other movies that are on the books at this point besides them working on this X-Men film. So
I think the only one I can think of is I think they talked about Black Panther
three, right? Yes,
was pretty early on.
yeah,
Whether that's going to be with a whole new Black Panther with this
right,
phase zero thing that they're doing, but
yeah,
yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I think it's pretty obvious that Kevin Feige just wants to move on to the X Men.
yeah, yeah.
Which I agree because I do too.
Yeah.
I want to move on to that chapter. I love these characters we've gotten to know for the past 20 years almost.
Right.
But let's move on to a new chapter, a young X-Men and new characters, fully new to. I don't want any carryover with
Crossover,
old.
yeah.
I don't want any. Even Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
And I would even maybe say Ryan Reynolds. Maybe that's the only one I'm kind of iffy on with Deadpool. But I don't even know if Deadpool's going to be a part of it either.
I don't think so. I think
No.
I think Ryan Reynolds will carry over because I think he's so
he is Deadpool. Yeah,
he's Deadpool at this point. I think there's a debate to say that he is more kind of like in sync with Deadpool as like recognition than like maybe any other comic book character ever, and that includes even Hugh Jackman's Wolverine.
Yeah,
because I think you could do other people. I think Ryan, especially so soon, accepting someone else but Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool would be a lot harder. And plus, the nature of the character, it's very easy to have it just be him. You know what I mean? Like you can really, and he's not going to interact with the X-Men. You know,
no, I don't think so.
I think once Hugh's out, I think Hugh was his only person that he's going to continuously be involved with when it comes to any main X-Men. So I think once Hugh's done, I think he'll just go back to being on his own and doing his own thing.
Yeah.
I will say, I think I agree with everything you guys said. I think when they announced in 2019, all those years back, that they were buying Fox and they were going to have the full rights of the characters, I've just been wondering why it's taken so long and why we spent so much time. I know this was the multiverse era, so it kind of always felt to me like maybe Kevin Feige wanted to give all of those actors from the Fox era like one final hurrah, a good one, right? Like a final really great ending for these characters. And I think they have. I mean, them bringing Hugh back, it's weird because like I loved Deadpool and Wolverine. I thought it was really, really great, but I adore Logan so much as like the finale for that character. I always thought it was very weird. Like I thought if you were going to do that, it should have been for the other characters, not for Hugh, because Hugh got the beautiful ending in my eyes. But then again, it's like I love Deadpool and Wolverine too, so I don't know. Like I'm very wishy-washy on it. But I'm just excited to see what Kevin Feige does with. Let's be honest, it's going to be a more comic accurate X-Men. As much as I have nostalgia and I love what those Fox X-Men, especially the early ones, did for the comic book genre as a whole, comic book movies, they were what's the word I'm looking for? Like I feel like the potential was always higher than what we actually realized with those characters. I think that the X-Men are much better than what we got. So I'm very excited to see new actors in these roles, see Marvel Studios take a true crack at it and reboot these characters. Have you guys heard about some of the rumored casting that's going around?
Yeah, we can get into that.
Adam Driver as Magneto. And then the other one I heard, I don't know if you guys heard this one as well, Patrick Wilson as Professor X.
Whoa.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of down for Patrick Wilson as Charles.
I think that combo in general, I'm starting to see the vision a little bit here.
Right.
And then obviously we all think, Sadie Sink is Jean Grey. I mean, it's basically, it seems like the worst kept secret at this point that's what she's going to be in Brand New Day.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, I just say, yeah, that's fine. It's just that it's kind of weird though. That's technically going to be carried over,
Yeah, I agree.
Yes.
It's a weird place for it.
Yeah. I feel, again, there's a lot of speculation on how Secret Wars is going to end and where it's going to leave the MCU as a whole. I've seen things that say there's only going to be one universe and everyone who's there is going to be what it is going forward. And then I've also heard that nothing's going to change and there's still going to be a multiverse. It's just not going to be in shambles like it is right now. So I don't know. I think we're not really going to have a clear vision as to what this is going to be until we get those 2 movies. That's just what it is. But yeah, I'm very excited. Like X-Men, I think has so much potential. And the combination with Fantastic Four, which I know people are, I don't know, like I feel the reception and kind of the impact that First Steps has had wasn't really the greatest, but like I went back and watched that movie like a month and a half ago. That movie was great. And I think the cast is so solid. And I think these characters that they got, we could really do some great things going forward. So
I think so too. It was kind of weird though that I saw that like something about like how it was taken off kind of like their list to try to make a sequel right away. I think
for Fantastic Four. Yeah.
Saw that and I was like, because I figured that you'd want to do X-Men, maybe another Fantastic Four,
right?
Yeah, build up those families again, or build up the family and then build up the X-Men. But I mean, we'll see what they go with, I guess.
Yeah, I think it might just be they're just prioritizing X-Men. I don't think it's that. I have no doubt in my mind we'll get another Fantastic Four movie. I mean, no doubt.
And hopefully, I mean, I kind of want Midnight Suns too. If we could get that.
Yeah, same. That'd be awesome.
Give me a new Ghost Rider, man, please.
Yeah. Hey, that's another rumor, and that's on the leak circuit is that hey, maybe in Doomsday or Secret Wars, you might get your wish fulfilled there, Ian. So
hopefully,
we'll see.
I've been saying that,
and I've heard it's an actor that a lot of people really like. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and move on. That was pretty much all of the Marvel news that we got. Which, like I said, there was a lot of kind of tidbits and things that came out and got released. So I wanted to move on. The Emmys came out and revealed all of their nominations. But there's one particular thing that I want to talk about. And I think I'm the only one who is going to be able to talk about this because I believe I'm the only one who's fully seen The Boys, correct?
No, I've seen fully The Boys.
Oh, you have. That's right. Okay.
I have not.
I know you. I was going to say, I know Kyle hasn't because we talked about it before.
Oh, God.
It is absolutely... I don't even, I'm failing to muster up words right now. This is ridiculous that Anthony Starr went 5 seasons of delivering one of the greatest villain performances of all time, and he has 0 nominations. Absolutely insane. There's nothing. Let me pull up this post I see over here. Hold on. First time, he didn't win it either or get nominated for Better Call Saul.
He never got nominated once for Better Call Saul.
No.
That is insane.
What are we doing?
No, yeah.
I mean, and remember, Anthony Starr is the one consistent thing in this entire series of The Boys. Like, literally, he was still the best part of this last season. Like, in my opinion,
he is the best part of every single season.
Like,
there is
yeah.
People talk about his performance being on par with Heath Ledger's Joker, and I do not think that's an insane conversation to have. He is that good in this role. Yeah,
which is why it baffles me too, because it's like, again, I forget if we talked about it. I was not a big fan of this last season.
Right.
But this was still the best thing about the season was him as Homelander, like always, you know what I mean? So even for that to be still, it's just like, oh God, these people are insane.
I know it's not an indication of how good the performance is, but the fact that this dude gets memed every single season, like there's something new.
That's true.
There's a new meme that comes from Anthony Starr every single season of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I know it's not an indication, but it is because of how good he is at this performance.
Mm-hmm.
And the final scene and everything. I mean, Kyle, you've probably already seen the meme. I'll fucking suck your dick and all that. Like it's
yeah.
He's like, I eat your shit. You want me to eat your shit? It's like, it's so good. And I don't know. Like, and this is what gets me so disheartened in general. And it's not just the Emmys, it's the Oscars too.
Oh,
when I watch these award shows, because we're such fans of movies and TV, and we watch these shows for years, or these performances in film, and everybody can agree that he should have had at least a nomination, let alone a victory. Like there's some seasons, maybe not season 5, but there are seasons of this show, I'll say season 3, I think he should have won. I mean, when you look at what was up that year in competition, it's like I can't think of a performance that was better than his. And then when we look at the list, which I can pull up here.
Oh, please.
And I read the list of I'll have to go through it. Let me pull up the full nominations. I saw it and I was like, how are these people that are the ones that went over him? Okay, lead actor in a drama series. Okay. Sterling K. Brown, Paradise, which, okay, like, I mean, Sterling K. Brown is a great actor. I couldn't tell you what that show is. I've never watched an episode of it.
Same.
Gary Oldman, another great actor, Slow Horses. Don't even know what that show is. Never heard of it. Mm-hmm. Mark Ruffalo, another good actor. Don't even know what this show is. Task. Never heard of it. Rufus Sewell. Never heard of that. The Diplomat. Oh, did you say, Kyle, did you say that was Task was good?
Task is very good. Yeah.
Okay.
You should definitely check it out.
Okay. Would you say that you think Mark Ruffalo deserves this nomination?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I would say so. Yeah.
Okay. And then, you know, the one that I think is the most blasphemous here, Noah Wiley from The Pit. You know, listen, sorry, Darren, I know you love that show. I hate that fucking show. Okay. But it just goes to show. My point is, you cannot tell me that these 5 performances are better than Anthony Starr. I'm sorry, you just can't. I will not take any argument. I don't believe you. I think you're lying if you honestly believe that. Even supporting actor. I mean, looking at all these, I mean, these are some good performances. I know Billy Crudup from The Morning Show. He's really good. You have 3 performances from The Pit. 3. I'm sorry. You cannot tell me there are 4 actors that are better from this show. And then you go to supporting actress and there's 4 from The Pit. I'm sorry. No.
That's crazy.
There's nothing you can convince me and tell me that they deserve a nomination over Anthony Starr. I'm sorry. There's just nothing.
It also just kind of shows that I feel like with these award shows too, it's just that their judges are specifically just watching like a few shows and they're like, oh, well, I watched that one, so I'll just pick everyone from that show, I guess.
Oh, I just realized, was I not showing you guys the list?
No, but I just
at? Oh, I'm sorry.
I figured.
I was like, wait a minute.
But remember, like, I agree with you. Like, I just wish that they would recognize what we recognize in our favorite performances and stuff, because there are quite a few that we always see that are snubbed and like never get their justice. Like, they just never get their due, you know?
Yeah.
And this is one of them too. But I also know that, like, I'm not expecting them to be great at being able to actually care to nominate people that actually deserve it sometimes, because they, like I said, I truly believe that these people are just on their couch and we're like, oh, The Pit's on. Okay, cool. Okay, I guess I'll just nominate everyone from The Pit, I guess. Which is not against The Pit. I know The Pit's good. I'm just saying that, like, it clearly, like, sometimes it's just like they don't care enough.
No.
You know. So
that's how award shows have always been like this, though.
Exactly.
It's very what do you call that? Snooty.
Kind of like they just feel like because something's popular, they can't give it its recognition and its achievement. When The Boys is a popular show, and I don't know if it's the stigma of it being technically like considered a superhero show. I mean, if you watch the show, though, the last 2 seasons basically were not a superhero show. Mm-hmm. So it definitely got away from what it was. It was that early on, but it got away from that as you went along.
Yeah.
But I just don't understand. Like, anyone who actually sat down and watched The Boys, and even people who didn't and who've only seen clips, like, you could watch the clips and you're like, damn, yeah, he's putting on a great performance. Like, regardless if you know the context or not, like, this is just great. Like, and
he's iconic for sure.
Right. Like, anyone, like, no one knew who the fuck Homelander was before this show. Like, I know the comics were there and people, like, there's a fan base for him, but nobody really cared about
No, Homelander. I'm sorry. They're bad. I don't like
They're bad. Well, and I know, but I know they have their fans, and I've heard that too, but, like, people defend it, and especially with where it went in the last season, I've kind of seen the comic defenders come out a little bit more. I'm like, hey guys, your comics suck. Shut the fuck up.
I know they may have things you wanted to like some of the stuff that could have been cool to be put in there, but majority of those comics are not well written, not well drawn. They're not good. So,
so yeah, I don't, and we didn't talk about all the other nominations and stuff like that. But I had to talk about this because it got me so irritated. And I knew it was going to happen, right? Like, I was like, if he didn't get it for the first 4 seasons, why would they give it to him for the final one, right?
Yeah, especially since as we've been talking about, we it shouldn't it shouldn't take away from. That's the thing. It's because they're not watching everything,
Yeah.
and that's unfortunate. I wish they would do their due diligence to actually watch, regardless of maybe like we said. I don't like this last season very much at all, and he was the only standout still to this day for that whole show. And then that last season, if they would just watch stuff like that and be like, oh well, we should give him that nomination because I mean, regardless of the season's quality, he is the best performance. So. I don't know.
You don't have to give the show recognition to give him recognition, right? And
the same
to
way
acknowledge what he's doing and acknowledge
that we're talking about Indy for her performance. Like, I'm sorry, but like I genuinely hope that they're not stupid this time, but they will be stupid.
They will.
They will.
And they're not going to give horror movies their due. Just because it's a horror movie, they do it sometimes, but lately it's been just because.
Well, I like when I was. We had talked about Obsession. Yeah. Obviously, I know Kyle, you were on my my spoiler talk. We kind of had talked about that. How with Amy Madigan getting the nomination or the win last year, maybe there is a road for Indy to get it. But then I think, and like the more I've thought about it, I'm like, no, it probably. I feel like with Amy, it felt more like maybe a career achievement. Like they're like, because there's an argument like some people didn't think that she deserved it, and I don't agree on that front. But it does seem to be like when it does get the recognition, it's always an actor who has been around forever, who probably should have got it before and didn't. So
yeah.
Now that we have Indy Navarrete, it's like this is her first breakout role. They're not going to give it to her, And I'd be surprised even if she gets a nomination, truthfully, which is sad.
I mean. We could hope. I mean, again, we also got snubbed. Me and you talked about Smile 2 with Naomi Scott.
Yeah.
She had an amazing performance at Smile 2, but Smile 2 is Smile 2, and it's a good movie, but just because it is a horror movie and it's all the stuff.
And it's a studio horror movie too. It's not like a A24
sort of
elevated horror that the Academy does like to recognize when it's like, oh well, those movies wouldn't even fucking exist if you didn't have the regular, like the standard horror movies that we're accustomed to.
Exactly.
So it all kind of circles back to the same thing of certain genres just never getting that recognition at these award shows, and it's frustrating. It's like who are these shows for at this point, realistically?
Well, I think the comic books like stink on the award. All that 100% is what affected Anthony Starr, because like you're not going to tell me that we just talked about the movie. Hugh Jackman did not get nominated for Logan
ever. Yeah,
or Patrick Stewart didn't even get a supporting role for Logan.
Yeah,
I don't, just because it's a comic book movie, and they do this kind of with horror. They try to throw us a bone once in a while with like Toni Collette or Demi Moore, or you know what I mean, or Amy Madigan. They'll throw you a bone once in a while, but comic books just never. They don't get that kind of recognition.
Yeah, and it's sad because just because it's a certain genre doesn't mean the performance still is not masterful.
Right.
And honestly, The Boys, like that's the thing about The Boys. It's meant to be for the crowd of people who really don't like superhero content.
Yeah.
Like it actively makes fun of that in the in the show. So that's the part of it too that like I think to myself like, did these people who do the nominations, did you even watch the show?
No,
because I don't think they did. Yeah.
No.
So yeah, it's frustrating. These award shows will never learn.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go ahead and move on. This is another one I know that we were talking about before. Where is it? I hate having to go through my list of bookmarks. Here it is. Friday the 13th, Crystal Lake. I'm going to pause this again so I don't get copyright. Very short teaser. I mean, it was only 30 seconds. This first comment, I hate Twitter. Honestly, God, if it wasn't for needing my fucking news from Twitter, I would never ever use that cesspool of a site. I'm so excited for this. Just the vibe and everything that we're getting from here. I'll let you go, Ian, because I know you're excited. Before I delve into my thoughts, what are your thoughts on this teaser? How excited are you for this franchise?
Oh,
for this series. Sorry,
ecstatic. Like it's just a cool thing to see. Any sort of Friday the 13th content. Of course, we all want Jason, but I've been hearing a lot of stuff that this will probably lead to that at some point. So I'm okay with that, especially with kind of giving us a weird like neat like thing where we're getting more time with Pamela, like where we got the one movie, but this will be a full season, which was going to be pretty cool to see. I love the actress, of course, that they picked for her. I'm sorry, why am I blanking on her name?
Linda Cardellini.
Yeah, Velma.
Yeah.
No, but no, she's
what a tone shift from that. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
I'm curious too what they'll add in there, because I'm guessing they're gonna do it basically where they're gonna have the show be its own series, as in like its own movie series in a way. Because
like a mini series, yeah,
they're not gonna try to lead it into
yeah.
the original movie or anything. It's gonna be like, because did you all watch Bates Motel when that came out?
Yes.
Yeah. So they did kind of basically just do Psycho by the end of it.
By the last season, yeah.
By the last season. So I'm assuming that's what they're gonna probably be doing going forward.
But it was still its own twist. Like they had its own storyline, like with his brother and everything like that. That is such an underrated show. I'm so glad you brought that up. That is such
100%.
an underrated show.
Yeah.
I don't remember the guy's name who played Norman, but he was he went to be the doctor that got memed to death after, but he was so good in that role. And like you said, essentially the first 4 seasons acted as like a prequel, and then the 5th season was kind of like a remake essentially of the original film. Yeah, that was so good. Oh my god, I totally had forgotten about that show. Kyle, what about you? Where's your excitement level? I know it was a very short teaser, but what did you think, and what are your thoughts?
I love the casting of Linda Cardellini. I think that's how you say her name, right?
Yep.
I think the fact that A24 is doing this also does give me confidence in it. It's not like what is it? I think it's Universal. It's not just Universal making it. It's this little show on Peacock or something. It's A24. So obviously they see something behind it. It's I think it's going to be rated mature too, which is nice too. So they're not going to hold back on being gory and being violent. It's interesting to see that this is the person, because obviously she's a very attractive lady going into no disrespect to Betsy Palmer from the original, but it's just kind of an interesting little
this
take
is a step up, I'll say that in the look departments for sure.
I'm super excited about it. I'm glad, again, like we said, we're getting Freddy, we're getting Jason. Michael had his turn and they did whatever they did with him, but now it's these two turn.
I basically echo both of your guys' sentiments. I'm very excited. I like it. This feels like because this is happening. This show, and Ian, I feel like you probably know more about this than I do. I feel like this show is happening because of rights. That's why they're kind of going this route for the first project. So this is not going to lead into anything. Like they're not eventually going to lead into a movie with A24, or is it going to be another company? Or
I think because they just it's like a workaround, because the whole point was that since they can't do a movie, they're going the show route.
Okay,
and, this is the only way they could do that, but they could still do everything. It's just the formatting has to be this way for it to be doing this.
But is there a company that's making a movie?
I'm trying to remember. There was talks about that too, and it's all kind of odd because I've had to read different things.
I feel like it's not like no one really has like a clear answer as to what is happening here.
Because
I believe, isn't it like somebody owns the right to the name Friday the 13th and somebody owns the right to Jason Voorhees? Isn't it something like that?
Yeah,
the character.
I think
it
was like that. Yeah. And whoever owns like the Friday the 13th part is who licensed.
I think it's Sean. I think Sean Cunningham owns that. And, Victor Miller, I want to say, is the other guy.
Yes,
he's the one that wrote Jason, and he owns that character. So.
Right. So that part's a little bit disappointing to me, only because then I feel like there's going to be really no crossover, right? Like, is this going to be exclusively I don't know how that's going to work. Like, is this going to be exclusively about Mrs. Voorhees only? And like maybe we rewrite the ending of the first Friday the 13th and she just goes on to be a psycho, I don't know. But either way, go ahead, Ian. Yeah.
No, I think you're right. I think they're supposed to be I'm looking it up again because actually I was watching someone's video saying with the show, you're correct. I believe there still will be a movie because I think I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they had like a mask design and stuff already for it.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
They do.
So, and I think it's okay. We'll see if it looks good on somebody when they actually use it. But I don't know. I mean, I don't like that I'm sorry, man. I hate this stupid shit where it's like, oh, it's with these people. It's like, golly, just give it
It's like-
someone.
Just get together and make money. The movie will
Well,
make money.
And that's my point with all that, and I've talked about it before. It's like, by your guys' greed and not wanting to work with anybody, you guys are actually losing money. Just because you own these rights, if you're not making money off of it and making stuff, how are you making money off of this? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, make a fucking deal, work it out, and be adults, and you'll make hand over fist. So that's kind of the only part for me that's a little bit disappointing. Is that like there might not be any connection, right, with like actual like Jason that we know of. Maybe it's a situation where they can go the route of like Friday the 13th Part 2 and 3, where he doesn't have the mask, the hockey mask, but he could still get pulled in. I don't know. That'll obviously be something that we'll have to find out with the show itself. But I kind of echo everything that you guys said. Linda Cardellini, I think, is perfect for this role. I was even like that sentiment for me was made even stronger after I watched a show this year. It was called DTF St. Louis. It was on HBO Max that she was in. Okay. It was with David Harbour and Jason Bateman. It's basically a show about where, and it's not a spoiler, it's like the opening scene of the show where David Harbour's character is killed, and essentially the entire show is about finding out what happened to him, and there's a whole lot of infidelity going on, and like there's this dating app, and it gets crazy. And throughout the show, they essentially make every character a suspect at one point. Like, and you go through. I won't reveal what happens and who ultimately was the person that committed the crime. Yeah, but when they have you in the part of the show where her character is kind of being looked at as the killer, and she has to be a little sketchy and a little bit darker. I watched that show and I was like, oh, I can see here. I can see how she could be Mrs. Voorhees, what they saw whenever they did the auditioning for it. So yeah, I think the look of this is great too. I think it looks like it's beautifully shot. I think that's one thing that A24 has always been done well with, is they always have a pretty good, strong visual work done on any of their projects. So yeah, I'm very excited that we're finally getting something in this Friday the 13th universe yet again. All these years later, I mean, shit, 17 years, like insane, insane how long it's been. And I'm not even the biggest Friday the 13th fan. I would say out of like the iconic horror characters, he's probably one of my least favorite, truthfully, but I still want more. I'm still a fan. I'm still going to see anything that they put out. So, yeah. Any final thoughts on the teaser?
No, I think we'll just see if they show some more footage and stuff. But no, great choice. It looks nice. So I'm ready.
I can't wait to see an actual full trailer too, not just a 30-second snippet. Right. Like something a little bit like fuller length than what we got, but I'm still fine with it.
Yeah, I'm wanting to see like at least a glimpse of like what kind of flashing we're gonna get in there and stuff. That would be cool.
Yeah. All right, so we'll move on. This will be the final topic. Michael has become the first biopic in history to pass $1 billion worldwide.
Nice.
Are we shocked? Are we shocked? This happened?
Nope. No, not one bit.
Nope.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it. I actually have grown very fond of this film. Maybe a little bit of Lance has been rubbing off on me.
I was about to say, Lance has been.
I'm like, Lance must have been rubbing off on me. Well, no, I mean, I've always been a very huge fan of Michael Jackson's music in general, right? So it wasn't surprising, I think. Do I think this movie, when it comes to biopics, is like revolutionizing the genre? Absolutely not. It's a very safe biopic, but it's one that I have a lot of fun with, and I really enjoyed. And when I went to go see it opening weekend, I saw people all dressed up as Michael, and even people that were like younger than me, which I was very surprised by. I assumed it was going to be an Unk Fest when I went to go see the movie, truthfully. But no, it seems, Michael, he speaks to all generations. So thoughts? Are we shocked that this movie is officially the first biopic to cross $1 billion?
Nah, if it was anybody, it was gonna be him that would have got there. Because truthfully, I've kind of been a little bit tired of our musician biopics we've been doing. Because this one I like because I'm just more into the music and the creative behind the actual like what we get in this biopic. Because like no offense to anyone, I just didn't really care about the Bob Dylan one or the Springsteen one. I like their music. It's just not the ones that I'm looking forward to. I think there's been better ones in my opinion that actually have style to them that are like neat and unique with if you ever watched the Rocket Man biopic,
that one was good.
That's more of like a musical, that's something different. And even a weird one that was exactly the same, or not exactly the same in style, was the Robbie Williams one with the where he's a monkey.
That's right.
It's weird, but it works really well.
Yeah.
So something like that.
What about you, Kyle? Thoughts? Surprised? Not surprised?
No, this doesn't surprise me at all, to be honest with you. This at the beginning of the era, when you go through and you're like, oh, which ones are going to cross that billion mark? This was a for sure. Even though it was close. To make it, but I like the movie. I think it's fun. Obviously, would I maybe prefer it to be a little more, serious and maybe more truthful to possibly stuff that went on? Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm really hoping the second movie we're going to get, the second part of the story, will maybe dive into that a little bit. I prefer like stuff like Elvis. Elvis was one a few years ago. I loved that movie, and I think it's very creative and it's got a really nice style to it. Where this is, it's very cookie cutter, but it's Michael Jackson, so like the music makes you move, and going to see Jafar too. I think that alone is worth watching the movie. He does so good at playing his uncle.
We talked about nominations. I will be severely upset if Jafar Jackson is not at least nominated.
I would agree.
I don't think he'll win because I think it's going to end up being a very strong year by the time we get to the end of the year. But he embodied his uncle better than anyone can. I have to ask you guys if you know about this Michael Jackson impersonator phenomenon that's been going on the last couple of years with a gentleman named Fabio Jackson.
I think I know what you're talking
about. If Lance was here, he would back me up 100% on this. There's a guy, his name's Fabio Jackson. He's a Michael Jackson impersonator. He looks exactly like Michael did in the later years. So he's a white guy. He looks just like him. I will give him that. You take what he looked like, in his later years, and he looks exactly like him. And he's had this like hate campaign going on towards Jafar. And if you watch this guy like do his dance videos or sing, like he is terrible.
Let me guess, is he a TikToker?
Yeah. He goes live and he'll like he recreated like the Human Nature performance a couple of months ago, and like it was just fucking terrible. And I'm like, dude, you have to be able to act and you have to be able to sing and dance. And Jafar put in the fucking work. He can do all of it. Like genuinely, when I watched this movie, I felt like Joe Jackson, and I'm like, get this boy on tour. Let's start the tour next week. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would go to a concert, like, even if he was just lip singing Michael's songs, I would go watch him in concert.
I mean, he
like,
puts performance into it, man.
Right, he does the dance and everything. Like, he was on point. So he was fantastic in this film. I kind of want to circle back to on what you said, Kyle. I think part 2 is going to be a definitively way different movie than what we got here with part 1. Honestly, to the point where I think some people aren't even going to like it because I think it's going to be so significantly like darker and deal with heavier subject matter than the first movie did. It was very clear how they structured it, that they wanted this to be the fun one. They wanted this to be the fun picture that, like you said, everyone's dancing along, singing along to the songs, having a great time. And I think part 2 is going to get very dark because they went through a lot of his catalog in this movie. I mean, there's really only a couple of really major albums left to go. So I don't think we're going to have as much fun and do what we did with this film with part 2. I think part 2 can hit $1 billion as well. I just believe the power of Michael. The numbers that he has on streaming is insane. Even before this movie, he was still one of the most viewed artists and listened to artists on like Spotify and Apple Music that there is. I mean, his music's timeless. That's just all it is.
Yeah.
That's all I ever
Yeah.
say when I talk about Michael Jackson. I'm like, no matter how old you are, no matter if you grew up during that time, you can put on his records and you will bob your head. You will sing along. You'll get you'll want to start dancing. You know, that's just what his music did.
He's the king of pop, man. That's why.
And that's for a reason. And there's never going to be an artist ever like him again. You know, that he's one of the artists I look at and I'm like, damn. If only I was born like 15 to 20 years earlier, and I would have been able to experience that as it happened. I always joke with my wife, and I'm like, if I had a time machine, I'm going to that Motown '87 performance where he did Billie Jean for the first time in Moonwalk.
Oh man,
just to be in that atmosphere, it would have been insane. So yeah, I'm not the least bit surprised that Michael hit $1 billion. Like I said, I think part 2 will probably hit $1 billion too. Do you guys know what the number 2 biopic that's ever? Like, it didn't make $1 billion.
Oh, it's Bohemian Rhapsody, right?
Nope.
it's,
Really? I thought that was 2.
You're not even when I tell you, you're going to be like, "Oh, that's considered a biopic."
Oh man. Oh, is it like a musician biopic or
Nope.
just in general?
Just in general.
Oh, just in general.
Dewey Cox.
No, it's Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer. Forgot about that.
Oppenheimer. Yeah,
I forgot.
Oppenheimer
I
like
guess,
barely hit
yeah.
$1 billion. Yeah,
Forgot that.
they consider that a biopic. Yeah.
Right.
Well, to be fair, I forget that it really is a biopic. It's
It
just
is.
funny.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
don't.
Well, you think of the music ones. That's kind of the first thing that always comes.
Mhm.
You know, when it comes to biopics in general. But
Yeah.
I'm kind of too the same way that you are, Ian. Where like, you know, for a long time the musical biopics, especially like in the early 2000s, 2010s, it was like a lot of rap. Like rap was really kind of the ones that were the big ones first. Like you had like 8 Mile, Notorious, Straight Outta Compton, and then kind of right around the time of Bohemian Rhapsody, it kind of started to switch to rock. And then we got like a few years of the rock biopics, and then now
It's pop.
hopefully, we're getting towards like pop, so we're kind of rotating around. But you know, a lot of these films have been the same formula. You know, let's say, and I think that's where Michael Part 2 will be different as well, is because I think that it's gonna not go that route in Part 2 and try for something different. So
Yeah, hopefully they're supposedly they're already in development, but I think they're expected to kick around 2027. It says
yes,
filming,
for a release date, or for filming. See, that's what confuses me. There was so much like back and forth with this film. I don't know why, but for a long time I was under the impression that they had already filmed Part 2. And
I thought the same thing.
Yeah, but from what I understand is that Part 1 was originally much longer, and they basically are going to use some of that extra footage for Part 2, but they still have a lot more to film on Part 2. So
yeah, because there was stuff I saw that they cut out they didn't cut out or maybe they didn't do, but I was like,
Right.
well, he had a much closer relationship with his sister, I know, in real life, and they didn't really do any of that.
Well, she wasn't even in the movie.
No, she wasn't in the movie.
Which was kind of. I think
And
she
then-
didn't want to be, and that was kind of part of the holdup.
Okay.
You know, I had heard there was like a different ending originally.
I thought I heard there was a Princess Diana thing in there too.
Yeah.
That they took out because they were like, hey, maybe not put that in there.
Yeah, maybe not. They also had things where I know in real life I heard a lot of the stories about his dad, and they didn't really show everything. I know there's more they could have showed, but I guess they didn't film that. So
I mean, it was a great movie. You know, I thought
No, it was good.
performances was all around were really great. Like you talk about his dad, Coleman Domingo.
Coleman Domingo.
He was fantastic in that film.
Mm-hmm.
Like him, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a best actor,
Supporter.
supporting actor nomination because he was great. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, either that or I mean, I don't mind him getting that for. I mean, he was in a lot, but Disclosure Day too. I liked him in that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's great in everything, honestly.
Yeah,
he like anything he's in, he's always fantastic. So, so you know, not surprised at all that this hit $1 billion. Probably one of the most predictable things in the world. A lot of people didn't predict it. So Lance is happily taking his victory tour right now, which I don't blame him, because you know I see him arguing with people all the time online about Michael in general. So you know, he's warranted to get his victory lap and to say I told everybody. So
just came out on Physical today too, I believe.
it did. Yes, I did see
Yeah.
that.
A bunch of our buddies are getting showing off their copies.
Mhm.
I know. Did you get yours, Kyle?
I did not yet. No,
No,
I need to
okay.
go get that and Obsession.
Obsession, yeah,
Oh.
that came out too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which I was kind of surprised at how quickly Obsession came out on Blu-ray, because the digital, like the time frame between Michael's digital release and the Blu-ray release was much longer than Obsession's. Like it just came out on digital a couple weeks ago. So
Well, and Obsession's still making decent money in the theaters, too.
I know. I'm like insane. So okay, all right. Well, I think that's it. That's all the topics that I have for today. It was a great show, great topics. Definitely great conversations here. So we'll start off with you, Ian. Where can we find you?
Oh yeah, you could mainly find me on TikTok at Ian_movies_whatever. I'm also on YouTube. I do streams with some people. I did a stream with Alan, and yeah, I'm mainly doing like any of the newer films coming out review wise, but making more Evil Dead content.
Yeah.
Apparently people really like it. It's getting a lot. So
Yeah,
those.
I've been seeing you going heavy with the Evil Dead content lately. I've been enjoying it. So yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Appreciate it. What about you, Kyle? Where can we find you? And if you got anything you want to shout out that you're working on?
You can find me on TikTok at Power Up Productions. I don't know if I actually am currently really doing anything. Obviously, I'll see Odyssey this weekend. Got a lot of wrestling stuff coming up.
Yeah.
SummerSlam, all that stuff. So should be nice.
Yeah. That's actually one thing that I was going to reach out to you to talk about, because I was thinking about maybe doing a show, maybe a pre-discussion show on SummerSlam, because I think we're moving into some good stuff. I think they've been doing some good stuff lately, so I'm excited for the show for sure. So obviously, you guys know me. I'm Alan. You're on my channel right now, AG Reviews. I am behind on like individual videos, to be honest. I haven't really reviewed anything. I'm kind of throwing in the towel a little bit on that. I'm just trying to do live shows at this point. I will be starting a Road to GTA 6 live stream for that game. So the plan is to do like Vice City, GTA 5, maybe one of the GTA 4's spinoffs, possibly, before leading up to GTA 6. So be on the lookout for that. And then I'll be doing my new show here, Alan's Movie Talk, every week, where we kind of do this, review movies, talk movie news, and stuff like that.
Awesome.
But that is it. So, all right, guys, it was a great show, and everybody, have a great night.